will be starting soon. Please stand by.
Hello everyone, and welcome to The Silver Lining. Joining me here today is Professor Sir.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing, Chris and Marco? Okay, so yeah, this is kind of like a fan-made sequel to King's Quest. And it was at some point called King's Quest 9, but it was just left at Silver Lining because of some legal issues. Yeah, that's so illegal. But they didn't have to change any of the characters, so that's good. Also, they never finished episode 5, so it's also that. Shall we go? Yes, we shall.
Anyways, good evening, everyone in chat. How are you all doing? Hope you're all doing well. I'm sure it's morning for everyone that's in chat right now.
And very late for you. Yeah, 7 a.m. for you and 8 a.m. for me.
Wait, it's 7 for Mr. Cole? I thought he was a fee.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, for some reason I thought he was a fee. For me, it's 10 p.m.
Hey, at least with this game the videos play. Oh yay.
Yay. I knew Chris wasn't a fee. He's a Chrisian. How am I doing? I'm okay. I've got a kind of sinus infection right now. I've been going off and on with the last few months. It's recently flared up again, but other than that, I'm doing okay.
I hope you had a pluritastic birthday, at least.
It was good. Very uneventful, since how everything's closed down, so, you know.
Yeah.
But, got some takeout food, brought it home, and that was good. I had a hamburger that had 3 patties, avocado, pastrami, bacon, tomato, lettuce, onion. It's just massive. It was massive. It's called the Killer Burger. It's huge.
Humongous. Hey, fanatic. Well,
Did the game freeze, or?
no, there's video playing. Don't you see it?
No, I see loading episode.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Don't worry, everyone. I ate it in 3 separate meals over the course of 2 days. So.
Well, can you see the video from the stream? At least there it shows.
Oh,
Maybe it's just a video that doesn't show, I hope.
I'm interrupting something epic right now, aren't I? Can
Oh,
everyone
just
in chat see the video?
I think they should, because at least I see it in my preview.
Oh no, Discord broke again. Oh, I might have to be 10 seconds behind.
Well, let's see, maybe it's just a video, because that always seems to be a bit iffy.
Yeah, so I might be behind on the video. Oh no! I can hear things though. He's got a green eye.
He's strong. Go home.
Okay, who am I looking at? What did I miss?
Well, there was a wedding starting, and then Alexander the Green Eye, and here we are.
But whose wedding?
Rosella and Edgar. And that's felonies. And that's crime.
Okay.
And that's casino.
Oh no! It's Doggo Man!
All the Doggo men are back. Yes. I'm surprised there's no speech whatsoever in the intro.
He has very pursed lips.
Hey. Cool. Now do you see a crown in Discord? Never mind, me.
I don't know. I gotta go look at Discord now.
Well, more videos.
No, it's a squares. It's dancing squares. So are they dead or asleep?
Sleep.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming they're asleep.
What's wrong with him?
That's what we're all wondering, my dear.
It was evil. It was pure evil.
Did you get a good look at the stranger before he vanished?
It's kind of quiet.
No.
Yeah.
It was all too sudden.
I have to whisper.
And he was wrapped in that cloak. I just know he lifted his hand and Rosella.
Who was that stranger? And why did he do this to our children?
I don't know. But if this spell can be cast so easily, there has to be a way to undo it.
There has to be one, my lady. But I'm afraid I know not how.
Shamir?
This magic is foreign to me, sire. I've never seen a thing like it.
Do you know anyone who might know what this magic is?
I do. The Oracle of the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. Her knowledge is greater than the ocean, but very few people are ever allowed to see her.
She will have to see me.
My love, you're not...
I most certainly am.
Your Majesty, if you're going to seek the Oracle, I'm going to.
No, son. We don't know what we're up against. You have to stay here with Rosella. This is my duty. That is yours.
But...
You must stay here, do you understand?
Yes.
I'll stay here with them as well.
You do that, my love. I promise I'll be back. Farewell, my dear.
Yes, let this man in his
May this curse be lifted.
late 50s, maybe early 60s, go off by himself.
He's so old. Okay. Subtitles are... yeah, they are.
It's super quiet, Johnson.
So, now can you see something in Discord or no?
Let me check. I see a crown. I think Discord's even more delayed than the stream.
Let me see.
Oh no.
Okay, do you see it now?
Full disclosure, we didn't properly test this before even announcing the stream.
Can you try to share it again?
Yeah, try refreshing.
Open this window. Then go here, share. You see it?
Hey, you think we'll fight anyone today?
You don't.
No, but I can
Why
hear
not?
it.
We could take them. We'd be
Why not?
heroes.
I don't
Everyone
know.
in the Green Isles would know our names.
Don't be a fool. If
Hmm.
anyone were to try and attack the castle, they'd be attacking more than just us.
Well, we tried it just a moment ago and it worked
Did
just
it?
fine.
I could take them.
It did.
No, I could. Maybe we should go and try to find some bad guys.
Click on the game. Like,
Keep going. Our shift's not over yet.
let's see if I
Don't go looking for bad guys when it is either.
Well, let's try one thing. I'm gonna save. Wait. Let's save the game here. Or one.
working just fine.
It was.
25 minutes ago.
So what we do is restart the game and skip the videos. Maybe that helps.
Yeah.
Just a moment.
Sorry, everybody. If not, I might have to be 8 seconds in the past, like everyone else. Oh,
That ain't right.
no, it's not. But I have had to do that in the past. Okay, I can see the game.
You can?
Yes. Yes, he's going la la.
Because in Discord I only see black screen. So are you sure you see
Well, I
it?
can see it.
Can you see the mouse moving?
No.
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 I think you're seeing a frozen picture.
I'm seeing a screenshot of the main menu. La la.
How do we fix this?
I don't know. How about we restart the whole call?
Okay.
Maybe that'll fix it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try this again. And again.
You know what this means. This is a sign that we need to speedrun. Christ, mask of
No, it's just sending black screen.
Yeah, I'm getting his dancing square as well.
I don't know what to say.
I'm getting the audio though.
Yeah.
I've dealt with wonkier setups in the past.
Okay, well, do you think you can live with this?
Like I said, I've dealt with wonkier setups in the past.
Yeah.
As long as chat doesn't mind me, well, you know, being 8 seconds behind on my reaction to the visuals. Game.
Well, actually, I think when you right click on the video and look for the stats thingy, it shows the delay. I think it's not that long.
Okay, stats for nerds. What is the delay?
Is it about 5?
3 seconds.
Well, that's not bad. So much happens in 3 seconds.
It can.
The guards remain on duty, as ordered by Captain Saladin. This guard dog looks like some type of herding dog.
I think it's
Wait.
best. Wait, what can you hear
Are
us
people
echo?
saying things?
Yeah, so I think I have to share the game so you can hear it, even though you
I'd
don't
like to
see
be
it.
able to hear it in real time.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not going to listen to the audio of having to hear both of us talk twice.
Yeah, true.
Sorry. That is not something I'm willing to do, but
Okay.
So, what did she say?
the video latency
Ooh.
being 3 seconds
Your sister.
behind, that I can
You were going to
easily
fix us
live
up,
with.
remember?
I've got 5 sisters who are all the same age and look exactly
It'll
alike.
just be like
from my
watching
liver.
a poorly dubbed
Going to have to be
Is everything all right in there?
Yes, just be prepared. We don't know what else may come.
We will, Your Majesty.
Graham has
So
more
it looks like
important
King Graham and
duties
is
than
saying the things the
chit-chat.
dogs are saying and vice versa. That's fine.
can't go back in there now. My children need my help. Besides, they're in good hands, and I trust that they will be until I return.
The good boys will take care of them, right, Janttu?
Yeah. Whoa.
That room belongs to Califim and Ilaria, Casima's parents. Graham and his wife Valenice are staying in the room behind that door. Graham finds it quite different than what he's used to, but beautiful just the same.
Okay.
Graham knows
Please
that
tell me John was here.
Ooh,
It's me, Jolo!
wasn't he in the intro video? I think he was.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't think I was able to see that portion of it.
Yeah, the video broke the whole screen share.
He was? Okay.
These have always come in handy for Graham to store his valuable items in.
Is the real dagger.
Oh, that was a knife. Jeez. I want
These
that
have
one.
always come in handy for Graham to store his valuable items in.
Yeah, but
Grab the potato with the
Inside,
store
Graham
corn.
finds some gold coins stamped with the insignia of the group.
some gold
which
coins. That was
Alexander
huge
gave
bag.
them upon their arrival.
These will surely come in handy.
These have always come in handy. These have.
These have. Okay.
Graham does not feel like wearing anything from there. His adventuring attire will do fine.
That says a lot about my fashion style.
Please note, dear player, that I didn't say that myself.
It's great fuzz. He's naked.
Michael Fortunato. Or is this Michael Fortunato?
Time to journey once more.
Let's go journey once more.
Oh, that's so strange.
What is?
Chat shows up in the bottom left corner for me before it does on the chat window on the left side on my other screen.
That's... Wait, that sparkles. It must be... Deal again.
What is it?
It is a coin.
These are the newer editions of the Daventry coin. Despite his protests, an edition of the coin with Graham's face on it was released recently to accompany the old ones displaying the face of King Edward, his predecessor.
On coin. Right.
Alexander gave his father some currency of the Kingdom of the Green Isles. The Green Isles coins still bear the profile of King Califim, Casima's father. Alexander joked that Casima had put these flat dish-like ornaments all over the balconies in the castle to be able to feed Sing Sing.
Where is Sing Sing?
Graham prefers to leave the balcony doors open. It not only helps to cool down the room, but also provides a marvelous view of the sea.
But it's raining.
There is no way that Graham will lay in a bed knowing that his children need him.
The suspense is killing me.
Me too. I'm enjoying slowly. Can I pick flowers?
As much as Graham would like them out of his sight, he doesn't have time to remove them. Hopefully, the castle's maids will take care of that, and soon.
Something I didn't check.
Well, you'll be happy to know that I now see a crown in Discord again.
Well, that's progress.
There was a time when the guards of the castle were human. Graham learned that this statue was raised in the name of one of Saladin's ancestors, the first dog to become guard for the Castle of the Crown. He performed so well that Casima's ancestors started recruiting more dogs for the job, until it became a tradition. Casima's parents, Alaria and Califim. Graham unfortunately did not have the chance to meet with them on this occasion. The Queen was called away to visit a close childhood friend who had recently become very ill and could not attend the wedding. Cosima expressed her mother's profound apologies and invited the Daventry family to visit another time when Alaria would not be away and so beset with worry. What a lovely portrait of Alexander and Cosima. The painter must have been extra kind with Alexander because there are no signs of the slight unease that usually haunts his eyes. Instead, he looks as happy and as handsome as ever. Graham wishes his son were so carefree more often.
Cool. Doggos had nothing to say. What is this?
There's no point in going into that room.
Why not?
All these buckets of flowers.
You mean bouquets?
That's the door to the guest room where Edgar is staying. As painful as this is
It'd
for
be silly
everyone,
to keep
Graham
a flower
cannot
in a
imagine
bouquet.
what the poor young man must be going through. Seeing his bride's spirit snapped right from his arms just before the kiss that would have sealed their lives together.
No,
forever.
it's not
It's
bucket,
something that
it's
Graham
bouquet.
would not wish to anyone, much less his daughter's husband-to-be.
It is bouquet. Who lives here?
That door leads to Rosella's guest quarters. She's not there at the moment, of course.
Oh, steel
There's
goodies?
no point in going into that room.
So yeah, slightly different than the previous King's Quest.
The place is still messy from the renovations. It's not safe to go in there, especially without a hard hat.
Okay,
I'm
apparently
surprised
it's a
there
coin
was-
flip, so where it'll show up first, because that one showed up on the left first before it showed up on.
That door leads to the kitchen. The
think-
exquisite dishes prepared for the wedding feast have probably all gone to waste now, and the kitchen itself has gone silent for the day. Graham does not want to disturb the cook and his staff. They are probably just as distressed as the rest of the people in the castle, and it's not as though he feels like eating at a time like this.
What? Me hungry.
It's the cloak that dark creature left behind when it vanished.
So we take it and put it on and turn
Not sure
something.
what good it will do to have just the cloak of the stranger in his hands. Graham takes the garment into his possession.
Greetings, your highnesses.
Good day, Graham. I cannot tell you how sorry Oberon and I are for all that is happening.
You are most kind, my dear queen. I hope there is something that can be done to break this enchantment on my poor children.
So do we.
It's hard to believe that this started out as such a wonderful day to end in such tragedy.
It is truly unspeakable.
We haven't felt this much anguish since Edgar was kidnapped
Why was
from
he
our
so
own
much louder?
garden. But you still have your children, and
Because
there
that's
must
the
be a way
tree
to
hole,
save them.
like.
We can only hope. Do you think Edgar will recover from this all right?
It's hard to say. I've noticed that his fairy soul is still fragile, but he may yet surprise us.
He will recover only when his bride does.
They were both so happy these days. Rosella kept telling me these stories about how she loved your homeland so much.
It was wonderful to see her and Edgar there together. And so happy.
I'd give anything to undo what's happened to my little girl.
It must have been lovely being able to raise your own child. And Rosella is such an eager girl. All the time she spent with us, she was always inquiring about everything in sight. Etheria, Eldritch, Edgar.
That's Rosella. Just yesterday I had to tell her to stop and go take a walk. She wouldn't talk about anything else but how she never found any reference to Edgar as a child in your lands. How young was he when Lelote took him?
Well, he.
Not long after Edgar disappeared, I commanded the lands to forget about him and never pronounce his name again, so that Titania could move on with her life and not live with the ghost of the son we never knew.
I agree. Valenice had difficult times when Alexander was stolen as an infant. Now, she has to face that horror again.
You are all she has now.
I wish it could be otherwise, but she'll have to manage without me while I find a way out of this. Do you know who that stranger might have been?
I have no idea. But Edgar saw him just before he worked his magic on your daughter.
I already asked him. He couldn't tell.
I tried too, but all he could do was grieve over Rosella.
Don't you two want to come inside? This weather is terrible to be standing in.
Oh, that's all right. I'd much prefer to stay outside. This garden reminds me of the beauty of my homeland, and I feel at peace with nothing but the sky above me.
Yes, all fairies do. Even with the weather as bad as this, we do our best thinking out of doors. It helps calm our spirits. It is Titania's wish.
I understand. I'd better be leaving. The sooner I find a way to help my children, the better.
Be careful, Graham.
Yes, be careful.
Old man out.
What would you do with it?
Yeah, what would you do with the door?
I would take it and then put it somewhere and go through.
You wouldn't use it to sled down a mountain?
Only if I have a winter coat.
You have that black coat, is that enough?
Did you know?
Graham would rather not be carrying anything touched by that evil stranger who cursed his children, but this thick black cloak is his only clue. Hopefully, it will help him discover the villain's identity.
It's thick? Is that good enough to go sledding in?
Yeah.
Tock, tick, tock. Oh, are you done trying crazy things?
The game is insulting. You can run? Oh, when you double click on things. Oh.
Look at him go! Near, near, near.
No. He's near. So wait, there's nothing here.
Oh, your fingers could get so tired.
Making the old man run.
So to simulate the fatigue of running. Can you double click and then just hold it down?
No.
No.
Okay, so we got a cloak.
That door leads down into the basement. Graham can think of nothing worth investigating in the castle basement.
Well,
unfortunately,
all the goodies are.
Look, it's the porta potty.
Doggo.
The guard dog, though gruff in appearance, looks lonely and sad. Graham can easily imagine why.
Greetings, guard.
Eh? Oh, yes. Good day. How is the king, sire?
No worse and no better, I'm afraid. But I'm going off to seek help.
Is that true? Well, I wish you luck. And if you track down that fiend who has committed such a dastardly crime, be sure that he gets his just desserts.
Calm down, my canine friend. What's most important is the safety of the king and his sister.
Right. Right, sire. You're absolutely right. Just do whatever's possible to help my king, and we will all be more than grateful.
Okay.
First of all, are there any goodies in the porta potty?
Well, it's very much denied.
Alexander
Couldn't you
told
go
Graham
on
on
in
his
6?
first fateful
Yes.
and dangerous visit to the Isles, he almost used this hut to disguise himself as a serving woman to infiltrate the castle. Luckily, his path ended up taking him to the Isle of the Mists and beyond, and he was able to bring Casima's parents back to her, among other things. The words of the oracle guided him, Alexander said.
Oops. Outside window. That's not where.
It looks like Casima's nightingale, Sing Sing, is raising a family of her own. Several noisy little nestlings are begging for food from their patient mother. She doesn't look happy in this downpour, though. When Graham has a need for Sing Sing, he will come to her. King Graham has not been admitted into the TSL Asylum yet. For more information about the TSL Asylum, please go to www.tsl-game.com and head to the forums section. Oh, and if you want to hear more about the wonderful narrator, go to www.amycarillo.com. Yes, I know. Shameless self-promotion.
No advertising. What is this madness? Uh-oh.
What?
Graham takes a
Oh
look
no,
at the
not a
gigantic
log!
tree as its branches are mercilessly caught in a tug
There's no way to go over.
to the point of looking like they might even be torn off. The king can somehow relate. Inside of him, a wild storm has just begun to rage, harrowing his every nerve, at every inch of a man who has looked evil in the eye before and won, yet has never found a way to truly put it to an end for good.
See, I think with the volume, it's like music is too loud. Maybe SFX. Perfect balance.
I'll never be able to get past that log. Look at it. If only he were 30 years younger.
Even then,
Graham was almost killed by this tree on his way to the beach. It seems unlikely there's anything there for him to find, since the cloaked stranger clearly needed no sea vessel to come and go as he pleased. Perhaps it's just as well that the obstruction prevents for wasting his time there.
no way to go through. What? It just...
You're right,
You
why
see
would we
click.
even want to go to the beach where
Oh yeah, you cannot even walk on the grass.
where we go?
Oh yes, you can. You can walk on some grass.
Okay. You can walk on that grass, but not the other grass.
Yeah, the other grass is bad.
By heavens!
Graham could take the pieces of the once happy banner, but to what end? Even the few remaining pieces that are intact are likely to fall to ash in his pockets.
We need ash.
Graham prefers not to talk to this man. He makes him feel very uneasy, and he must stay focused.
What does this sign say? It's too tiny. Dope.
Doomsday something.
On any other occasion, Graham would love the presence of such a character. Now, however, something
Doomsday
around
is
him
upon us.
crawls underneath the king's skin. Horrifying thoughts cross his mind, and the words he blows into the wind speak to Graham like some kind of bad omen that will not go unheard. Graham peeks into one of the vases and finds nothing.
That means something.
Graham's intuition as an experienced adventurer tells him there's nothing useful in there. Somewhere, somehow, some hand of fate decided that this chest didn't need to be opened or contain any items, almost as though by some grand cosmic game design. Graham peeks into one of the vases and finds
nothing.
Nothing.
Bloody hell.
The store owner hasn't put... Is the store owner there?
What?
No one answers.
Jake. Have you been?
No one answers.
Okay. Well, with some games you have to click on the door twice to make things happen.
What game would possibly do that?
I don't know.
No one answers.
Where is everyone? Keep clicking outside the screen. That's bad.
That's fine. It's fine.
This wasn't there before.
Did I hear a meow? Janttu, did you just meow?
No, maybe it's Jason.
Graham can remember the echoes of the children gleefully playing around the fountain just yesterday. Sadly, all he hears now is the endless hollow echo of the rain on the stones. Graham stirs the stagnated water inside the fountain, causing ripples along the surface. His reflection is blurred between that and raindrops.
Blur.
Neither the owners nor their goods are...
Nothing goes on in the city.
Now that's odd. The sign says old lamps for new. But that doesn't sound like a very sensible trade on the merchant's part.
Old lamps per new? What?
Per new. Old lamps per new.
I did not know this. I now need an old lamp.
A small stand bearing the sign Maps stands abandoned. A blacksmith's forge, sheltered from the rain, sits cold and dark, its owner somewhere far away. It's locked shut with a padlock. How could Graham possibly open it?
That's like a thing saying that you should open.
The events must have been truly fun.
Dead end.
The inn is no doubt filled with worried villagers and guests as it is. Graham doesn't need to add to the commotion.
don't think there's anyone there.
No food and no ale await Graham through these doors, since the restaurant is closed for the remainder of the day like the rest of the village shops.
And this sounds like the things going on in real life, right?
It's all caused by a wizard?
Yes.
Fiend.
See, the wizard's name was Fiend. And now Jake is like, no, it's called Nerd. This Fiend up here. Alright, you say things, that's right. Look at this lighthouse, it's stunning.
A lone lighthouse stands at the end of a sandy peninsula. Graham wishes that thing had been in operation when his son came to these islands. Maybe Alexander wouldn't have nearly lost his life in that shipwreck then.
What else might have?
Yes,
Graham
game,
is not going to find the life he needs in there.
Did you get your tickets?
There's no one in it. It would be just inhumane to have someone there in this foul weather. But then Graham sees Hassan standing under the rain and thinks it may just be possible to get a ferry ride today after all. The old ferry of the Green Isles has turned into a formal business now.
Cool. Good trip. You don't fall. I think some science is needed. Can you fall in this game?
I don't know, you couldn't walk on the other grass.
You cannot fall. Nice.
Hassan, the ferry captain, stands by his vessel, looking as gloomy as the weather.
Hello, Pike. How have you been?
Greetings, Hassan, isn't it?
Yes. What business do you have with me?
Well, stranger.
Do you have any idea who that stranger was who cast that dark spell on both Alexandra and Rosella?
Stranger? Sorry, friend, but the crowd was so riled up I couldn't see a thing. I frankly don't want to get involved with something that nasty.
Even if it might mean restoring the health of your king?
Now look, don't get me wrong, but I don't stick my head where it don't belong. My way is the way of the sea and the tides. Mysterious strangers, I'm not going there. It would either take someone real brave or real stupid to go after a fella like that.
Or someone deeply disturbed by the status of the king and his sister, huh?
You do what you have to do. We all have our place in life. Like I said, mine is the sea.
I am thankful, Pike.
Why haven't you closed up your business like the rest of the town?
Why? I'll tell you why. People can wait a day or two to buy or borrow books or pawn their valuables. But when it comes to businesses like mine, we've got to stay open every day, rain or shine. When people have got to get somewhere, this is the one place that's always open. And believe me, I'm really sorry about what happened at the castle today, but I can't leave my ferry. You never know when someone's going to show up and ask to be boated over to the Isle of Wonder or somewheres else. People's always gotta be somewhere sometime.
Did you see?
I said, you sure this isn't real life simulator? Everything's shut down except the buses.
Yeah. I think it might be King's Quest real life simulation.
Who would want to travel with the recent events?
Aye. Business could be better, friend. Could always be better. We were barely scraping by as it was, and then this tragedy had to happen. I'm in danger of losing my crew because I can't afford to pay them their wages. I sure hope both the weather and the king get better soon, so I don't end up out of business again.
And so that people don't have to rely on magic maps to travel around here.
Terrible times, my friend, terrible times. I made the promise that I would never go out of business again. I just can't take being stranded on land. I get land sick, you know?
For someone like you, yes, I can understand. Can you please let me borrow your ferry for a while?
What?
It's very important, both for the king and his sister.
I need it.
My business is hanging by a thread as it is, and I don't need your help in cutting it loose, stranger.
But
Hello,
I'm not a stranger, I'm the king's father. And I need your ferry so that I can get to another island to speak to someone who can help my children.
Very touching. But I'm afraid your story sounds like a tale of the high seas. You don't look like much more than a local villager.
That's because I changed clothes.
Thank you for talking with me.
It looks creepy. We call it dogi. Not too dogi. Not like that one game.
Does this convince you that I am who I say I am?
What's this? Daventry? My word. It's you! My humblest apologies, sire. I had no idea.
Don't worry yourself over it. That's what I get for dressing like this everywhere I go.
I actually thought it was fine attire, sir.
Just call me Graham, and keep the coin.
Thank you, Graham.
Now can we?
Now will you let me borrow your ferry, Hassan?
Oh, I'm deeply sorry, Graham. But I just can't do that. I'm the only one who drives this vessel.
Will you take me then?
You must understand that this is my business. I wish I could take you on a free ride, but there's the crew to pay, maintenance to do, food to buy, and then there's all these other things.
I get the point.
Aren't we moody today?
I really need that ferry.
And I said I'm sorry.
It's okay, I have loads.
We have a whole bag worth of money.
What? The youngest one.
Gold be sufficient payment for buying your business?
How much is that?
Should be enough to keep you in business for at least a week. And if it's not, I got more.
In the name of the seven seas, this is... As much money as you may think this is. I've got my crew to support, myself to support. But on the other hand, if it weren't for your son, I wouldn't have such a thriving business in the first place.
I have more gold. I'll pay whatever it takes.
All right, all right. Your story has touched me. I'll rent her to you for 2 days for this quantity, just out of respect for my king. But that's 2 days, no more. If the third morning comes and you still need her, I'll expect a little more than what you're paying.
Thank you, Captain.
Whenever you are ready.
Are we ready?
I don't know. We seemed to be there was nothing else in the whole land. Except palm trees and rain.
Where are we going?
To the Isle of the Sacred.
Ah, the uppity winged ones. I don't think you'll get far, but hey, it's your call. Guys, get ready. We are sailing off to the Isle of the Sacred
land.
Oh yeah. We need to get into pot paradise, please. I'm Bodie McBoatface. Where do we want to go?
The Island of the Sacred.
There is no sacred.
Big mountain.
There's wonder, there is
Big one.
sacred.
Okay, Janttu.
Yes.
What was the last guy's name? I know it wasn't Colin, but that's what.
It was Connor.
There it is.
Is there any other way?
I see a flower.
Graham?
Here goes nothing.
Pernil, you have expired. What a shame.
I will be back soon.
We'll wait for you here. Come back when you are ready to sail.
Hey, this is strange.
There's no time for that.
What? There's all the time for that. Bloody little fiend.
You, come here. Come with us.
Come hither.
Whoosh. Now he was a real airplane.
Art requested for thine audience of thy majesty. They talk so dokily. Mask of eternity.
Yeah. Walking animation was a joke.
The winds have carried the news of your tragedy.
Greetings, my lord. We were surprised not to see you at the celebrations. Perhaps your majesty did not receive our invitation?
We did.
My husband had matters of great importance that, unfortunately, kept us from attending your daughter's wedding.
Ariel, the human does not need to listen to an excuse. You're here to request our help, are you not?
I was told the Oracle could be of assistance.
Only one human I recall has ever been granted an audience with the Great Oracle.
We shall always be grateful to your son for saving our daughter.
He did as our prophecies foretold.
Could I humbly ask a meeting with such an honorable Oracle?
Your request is declined. The disgrace over your family is not one of our concerns.
It is of a great importance to all of our lands. The king himself is under a spell.
Azur, my love, let us not forget what the king did for our daughter.
And he was rewarded.
I know. However, if King Alexander was great enough to be part of one of our sacred prophecies, as you said the prophecies foretold, perhaps we should not deny the possibility to aid him in his hour of need. There are prophecies yet to be deciphered. If the king fulfilled one, could he not fulfill another?
I find that highly unlikely, but you have proved to be right on a few occasions. Human, you may see the Oracle this one time.
Thank you, kind lord.
My guard shall escort you.
Before I leave, may I ask another question?
You try my patience, human. Be quick about it.
I saw your incredible city as your guards brought me here. If needed, could I be granted the permission to walk about them?
If you can travel to the city, yes. However, I seriously doubt that you can.
Why is that?
Are you listening to yourself? A human flying? Now that would be a sight worth to see.
We mustn't forget Icarus.
Icarus fell, as any human who thinks they can soar through the skies will.
So absurd, as are all those old bird tales. Like that one about some artifact that would allow humans to fly.
Your question has been answered. Guards! Escort this human to the Great Oracle, and then out of my city.
Again, thank you, my lord. Milady?
Will we get some nice potions again?
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Great one.
Mortal, you need not speak. I know why it is you have come.
She knows too.
You seek answers that I cannot help you find. A veil of darkness clouds your family. And something you carry is full of evil. Its mere presence weakens me.
Something that I carry. This cloak?
Take it away. It comes from a man of the purest evil.
You must tell me who he is.
His identity I cannot see, for he is shrouded in darkness. I can only say that your fate has bound you to this evil man, like vines twisted into paths that never end. He is greater than any foe you have yet faced. I cannot help you further, mortal. But there is one who may. Seek he who rules the Isle of the Mists. He shall be waiting.
Thank you for helping me, Great One.
I wish you a safe journey, mortal. May the fates watch over you in the difficult times to come.
Wasn't the Oracle more living looking in the original?
Damn. Well, that was a few years ago.
Now, be gone, human.
Look at them flap away. There is no way to get past this gate. There's no entry whatsoever. Yeah. Just like I said.
There's no time for that.
I keep saying that there's been plenty of time. Oh, look at it.
Graham seems to recall reading about this flower. It's nightshade if memory serves. They say it can take your breath away.
See, we need it.
It's stunning.
To the Isle of Mist.
That'll be a hard one to find, but there's nothing my queen can't set sail for and find.
Do you mean it's hard to find? It's right here.
Which one was the Isle of the Mists? Is that the one with the
The
Druids?
one. Yeah.
Halt! Who dares trespass on our island?
Please, I mean no harm. I wish to see the Archdruid. The Oracle sent me.
Strangers are not welcome to the island.
Let him pass. I've been expecting him. Follow me, Graham of Daventry.
These people know too much.
The one with the animal on his head, right?
You do understand I am making an exception for you, do you not?
I understand that your people are very reclusive.
And with reason, civilized one. Your kind does not understand how deeply you harm Mother Nature with your so-called civilization.
Please, I am not here to discuss political issues. A greater tragedy brought me to your shore.
I know why you are here. I spoke to Mother Nature before your arrival, and she advised me to help you. There is more at stake than what meets the eye.
Could you elaborate?
It is not only your offspring's life in danger. There is a greater, darker plan beyond my knowledge.
So you know what's wrong with my children?
Your children are under a dark spell. The only way to revert such a spell is by reaching their minds.
How can I reach their minds if they can't even hear me?
There is a way. I thought it was impossible as well, but Mother Nature is wiser than what you could imagine. You can only do so by reaching their dreams, more specifically, by traveling into them.
Been there, done that.
How can that be possible?
Yeah.
It is not an easy feat for a simple human, but it can be done. There is an ancient Druid spell that will grant you entrance into their dreams. If you bring the ingredients of the spell to me, I can create it for you. But I must caution you, the spell involves very dangerous, unstable magic. I cannot guarantee your safety while you travel the realm of dreams.
If there's no other way, I do not have a choice. What exactly will I be looking for in these realms of dreams?
You will be on your own once inside. I know not what must be done, but you must also be warned. Should you fail in bringing them back, you'd be trapped in the realm of dreams with them.
I understand.
Very well, then. Here are the ingredients. You must also find a magical bag, which is the only vessel in which the ingredients will mix for the spell. The last time I heard from it, it had been lost in the vastness of the sea. Also, the spell will only work if the subjects are in their homeland. I suggest you send your sleeping children back to the realm of Daventry as soon as possible.
I will do so. I am indebted to you for your help, noble Druid.
Why is
It's
magic
getting
gotta
late,
be so
so
complicated?
I'd better set a course for the Isle of the Crown, to begin looking for these ingredients.
Farewell, Graham of Daventry. Feel free to wander our isle while pursuing the ingredients. But beware of taking what is not yours or harming nature. We Druids shall not hesitate in defending her to death.
Fear not.
I never do.
Where are the ants?
Oh, Anthony, here you can help.
King Anthony and Cedric. Be great.
Yep.
Outsider! Come back!
I must return to the Castle of the Crown tonight.
The Archdruid has sent for you! He said this is not a natural storm!
I'd listen to him, Graham. This ain't like nothing I've ever seen in all the seas.
Let's go then.
Who are these people?
These are my crew, and if they cannot come with me, then I shall not go.
Follow then.
And that song, that was from King's Quest V. I see.
Is he wearing sunglasses?
We defied fate with the vain requests of human desires. Too late we realized that the answers to what we sought had been in our own hearts all along, and we were punished. Punished with an endless war that had just begun. They said that only after 1,000 years would a last chance be granted. One final choice would be made that could fill the fields with light or darken them with shadows. 1,000 years have passed.
How does one fall asleep standing up? Is he part horse?
The time of choosing is now.
Yes. Yay, we beat the game.
Hooray!
I didn't think the chapters were this short.
Is that how long all the chapters are?
I don't know.
We're gonna find out. Okay, only chapter 1 was actually finished. It's just a demo.
Yeah.
Have to wait for the full release for before you can play the whole game.
Well, they've been making the last chapter for 10 years now, so...
Joey Boo.
They never called it cancelled and the site is still up, so... Oh, thank you so much, Hanakane. GG's. Well, so we at least do the second one.
GG.
GG.
I think we
Hey, ball and chain. You alert for you. But yeah, isn't chapter 1 often kind of like a sort of intro kind of thing?
I don't know about that. But... I mean, that was an hour.
It was.
Can we skip the credits? I mean, I appreciate the credits, but I usually like to watch the credits at the end of the game, not every end of a chapter. Unless, of course, different people worked on different episodes, in which case, I guess.
I don't know. No, today I'm just gonna play this game.
But what about tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow is a different game. That you all know what it is.
Previously on The Silver Lining.
We defied fate with the vain requests of
Why are the videos so silent?
too late we realized that the answers to what
Previously on King Graham and the Peoples.
and we were punished with an endless war that had just begun.
Do you know anyone who might know what this magic is?
The Oracle of the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. Her knowledge is greater than the ocean, but very few people are ever allowed to see her.
His identity I cannot see, for he is shrouded in darkness. I can only say that your fate has bound you to this evil man. He is greater than any foe you have yet faced. Seek he who rules the Isle of the Mists. He shall be waiting.
Your children are under a dark spell. The only way to revert such a spell is by reaching their minds. There is an ancient Druid spell that will grant you entrance into their dreams. If you bring the ingredients of the spell to me, I can create it for you.
The Archdruid has sent for you! He said this is not a natural storm!
They said that only after 1,000 years.
Question: when was the last chapter finished? Chapter 4.
I don't know.
Was chapter 4 finished 10 years ago, or is 10 years ago when the project started?
The time of choosing is now.
I don't know, but maybe Cedric knows.
Because there's a big difference between those two things. If
Yeah.
it's 10 years ago since the last chapter dropped, there's a good chance the final one won't happen. But if the project was started 10 years ago, then there's a chance that someday the final chapter will be released.
Yeah. I know not.
'Tis beyond my reach.
This knowledge is beyond my reach.
In-game voices are fine. It's just the cutscenes are quite
at times.
Yeah.
Overwhelming.
Good day, Archdruid.
They have been here since before our time, and will remain ever after.
I wish I, too, could be enlightened by their wisdom.
Much of what they would teach you, you may already know.
Yet I don't have all the answers, especially the ones I'm seeking.
And what is it that you seek?
I haven't managed to find a way to stop evil from reaching my family.
You surely understand we cannot live in a world without evil. All things must exist in a perfect balance.
Such perfection makes some innocents suffer.
It does us no good to question Mother Nature and her actions. We cannot change those. We can only accept them. Had you not faced the evils you have, you may feel differently. You're a good and strong king because you have seen the face of evil.
There are simpler paths to becoming a good king.
The simpler paths may look that way in the beginning, but the path you have chosen has left you better prepared for what you now face. You should not have any regret for your choices.
Okay, see you then. Have a nice day.
I will be back soon.
Keep your senses alert.
My crown is so small.
This weather was not caused by Mother Nature.
I will. Goodbye for now.
For now.
For now. Jack Ryan. We might see him. Seems like an improv person.
Episode 2. Electric Pikachu.
I choose you. I don't know what else to choose. There's the fire dude and there's the leaf dude.
The Archdruid told me that the scroll is enchanted with the wisdom of Mother Nature and will guide me through my journey. I should heed its directions. The scroll is enchanted to let me know what ingredients are currently available. It looks like only these 3 are available right now. When I have obtained an ingredient, it will be crossed off the list.
We have a
The magic of the scroll will direct me to the islands on the map where I can find the currently displayed ingredients. I'll keep it in my pocket until I need it again.
So which island should we traverse?
Finally, the Archdruid told me that the scroll has the ability to point me towards people or events that will also aid me on my quest. Speaking of which, isn't that Shamir the genie?
Should we go meet the genie?
We have not Jalo.
A magical bag. An animated vessel. A lethal liquid.
Don't we need the bag first?
How do we bake?
Well, it said Shamir, so we should go to the first island.
Shamir. There's an E.
Obviously, it's just delayed.
Yeah. Still not cancelled.
The boy is trying his luck fishing off the edge of the dock. However,
So
he
edgy.
doesn't seem to have caught anything yet. Looking at the boy reminds Graham of his own experiences fishing in the lakes of Daventry as a child.
Hello there, lad.
Who knows? Maybe with the world
Have you had any
locked
luck
down,
catching fish today?
Nah, fishable all gone into hiding because of that storm last night. Ma was really scared. I've been trying to catch something for lunch, but there's no bites. I'm getting hungry.
With the world locked down, maybe they'll have time to finish it.
Hey, with this game I haven't needed to save like every second.
True.
What is this madness?
Then again, not really much of anything's happened. We gave a man a bag, and then oh,
Well, that's the problem with making something for free.
Yeah.
Will he be dokey as ever, or...
Ooh, it's me, Jolo!
You should have voiced him. Why didn't you voice Jolo?
I didn't
Refunds.
know. Oh, why hello, King Graham! Oh, how nice to see you!
I don't know. I can't read.
Well, what are you doing then?
Trying to look smart.
Don't listen to him, Your Majesty. He can read.
Ooh, gullible.
What's the book about?
It has taught me the great properties of how to properly lend a proper hand.
Say again?
I've learned a lot. May I practice with you? Do you need a hand?
Ah! By your hand! Oh, I see. You're lending me a hand. All right.
You can keep that one. I have many others.
Yay. You should have voiced him, Professor.
I didn't know.
Have you any idea what this mysterious illness the twins are suffering from could be?
My guess would be chronic boredom.
Boredom? Jalo, they're comatose.
Boredom is a very serious illness, King Graham. If I'd spent the last 20 years of my life in Daventry, I'd be comatose too. Laughter, as they say, is the best medicine, and those two need a hearty helping of it.
If it were as easy as that.
Unfortunately, I'm just a clown, King Graham, not a miracle worker.
Janttu,
What do you mean by that?
Game.
What?
You could finish the game.
Goodbye, my friend.
Does it mean that you just ask them and they will give?
What's wrong?
Please don't abandon me!
Jolo, quit it.
Well, bye, Your Majesty.
Janttu, they'll only give you chapter 5 if you're willing to finish.
So actually make it?
Complete it, yes.
There is no bell on this counter, and even if there was, Ali is right here.
How fare you today, bookkeeper?
Very well, King Graham.
For a small village, your bookshop is amazingly well stocked. You've quite a collection of literature here.
Thank you, good sir. I take pride in offering
Fine, I'll finish it.
subjects to my customers. I am glad King Alexander was encouraging his subjects to read more. You may look at any book you like, King Graham. Perhaps the information may help you. Do you enjoy reading?
I do, but my knowledge comes from life.
Professor is like, books. Yawn.
There are some of us that stay and live in dreams, and others that make those dreams come true.
One man's dream is another man's gold.
Very true indeed.
You must know my son well by now, good man.
Why do you say so?
If there's one thing that can be said about him, it's that he loves reading.
Indeed. King Alexander spends hours here. He comes with Jalo from time to time, and they just sit and read. It's the kind of silence I enjoy.
A little company's never bad.
With so few people interested in reading, it does get lonely from time to time. I've learned to live with it by now, but your son's company is pleasant.
Tell me, good man, what interested him most?
Let me see. He often reads on the subject of magic. He was very interested in the occult.
I had hoped his interest in that would have waned by now.
He did live under that wizard's dominion for most of his life.
But you'd think he'd hate it.
He might be after a way to master it and make himself safe from what kept him a slave. He was also interested in history. He's read everything he can about the Green Isles, as well as other places.
I gave him that advice. You can never know enough about the place you govern.
And sometimes he would just pick up a poetry book and read it. Here's a secret. Sometimes he would copy one and take it to Cosima.
How romantic as well. Very nice.
He's a good man.
I know. He's very much like his mother. Let me do some research in your books.
Be my guest.
So, this chapter is all about reading all the books. Oh.
It's pronounced bouquet.
Yes, his mother is a good
Graham
man.
takes the book and reads through it. He finds an interesting story.
No. It was kind of neat.
Graham takes the book and reads through it. He finds an interesting story.
Princess and the Pea. Burp, burp. The one I can pick up. Usually books look a bit different.
Graham chooses a book called The Power of Nightshade.
Now can I pick it up?
Lord of the Dead had planted it. She plucked the bloom.
Bluefy.
Graham takes the book, Folklore of the Sea, and reads through it.
Ibsam. Oh,
must be
Ibsat.
Something.
None of the books in that pile catch Graham's attention.
Why not?
This isn't the Crown's coat of arms. It
Why
must
not?
have been a gift, or maybe it holds some significance to the store's owner. It's Jallo, the court jester of the royal family. He's enjoying his reading, or at least pretending to do so. Graham has no doubt the usual jolly fellow is just as worried about the situation of his king, and especially about Cosima, as anyone else.
Oh, he reads the book, he just scans the page like...
Who needs a fireplace in this heat?
So maybe they never finished the game because the Jolo's voice actor left. So they need a professor. Right?
Right. Oh, they do. Oh, poor Cosima. Oh, I worry about her. Oh.
What would you do with it?
See, they need it.
Into one of the
Oh, did I break it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh.
Graham's into it.
I almost broke it.
Really long time to open a bucket.
Well, at least they have a backup thingy.
No one answers.
If you're stuck,
Owner
it just
must be out.
puts you there.
I'll check back later.
Somewhat obscured by the neighboring building, this
Does it
unassuming
say?
small shop is undoubtedly much more interesting on the inside than on the outside. Ali's bookstore is located on the first level of a 2-story building. Judging by what Graham can see through the window, the bookstore is well stocked for such a small village. Although the walls were recently painted for the celebration, they are now mud-spattered by the rain.
What a shame. Let's make it open.
Indeed, curious antiques.
You know where it's beautiful.
If Graham wants any of those goods, he should talk to the merchant who owns them.
I don't see anything, so it's free.
There's no time for that.
How is there no time? You bloody little...
It won't fit in Graham's pockets.
What?
Strange, I know.
I wasn't going to pick up the door.
Yes, you were.
Graham doesn't need a room to stay in at this inn. He has wonderful quarters in the Castle of the Crown. Graham could imagine many ways that the tools could come in handy, but the blacksmith needs them to do his job.
That's all. There is no blacksmith. The stunning fountain.
There's no blacksmith, only grass.
Look, it's the thing from the thing.
A spider's web decorates most of the left section of the counter. It appears to be occupied. A large black spider is clinging to the web. For some reason, Graham is certain it's a she. And the way she's moving her leg. Is she giving him the come hither?
I'm so dead.
Ah, hello, Miss Widow, is it?
Call me Blackie, Sugar Pie. How may I help you? There is very little that I can't do for you.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, ma'am, but I know about your reputation. My son Warren told me about you. And besides that, I'm married and have been for more than 20 years.
Oh, curses! I mean, that doesn't mean we can't have a cozy little conversation, does it? I don't see your wife anywhere around here. Besides, 20 years of being chained to your spouse deserves some kind of reward, doesn't it?
Sorry, I'm quite content with Valamis.
Well, let me know if you have a change of heart, all right? I'll be waiting.
Any good news today?
Well, good news just walked in the door in the form of you, stranger. But otherwise, nothing particularly cheerful, I'm afraid. That luscious Alexander and that succulent, pretty little sister of his, are still asleep, so the newsbirds say, and things seem to be doing badly.
I know that.
But things may be looking up for me, at least, since you've shown up.
I don't want to get tangled up in any of your schemes, Miss Widow.
Blackie, Sugar Pie. Blackie.
Have you heard any news about what caused yesterday's calamity?
Indeed. The stranger has been seen in various places, always wearing that sexy black cloak of his.
Do you know what he's been doing?
The man has a fixation with a certain artifact. Pandora's box.
Do you know where this man can be found?
My. Aren't we full of questions? Maybe you and I could go around in a lovely walk, and I could devour and relate you the story of the mysterious man.
Thank you for the kindness, but I'm in a hurry.
The most interesting meals. Men, are always rushing everything. But no, my dear, nobody knows about the strange man's whereabouts. My sisters are working hard at it, but it just seems he totally vanishes after making his appearance. Quite a hard fish to eat. Catch?
Aside from the wedding events, is there anything else?
There have been reports of strange occurrences not only from local reporters, but birds from other nearby lands, Serenia mostly, and some from very far away. Daventry, even.
What sorts of reports?
Oh, you are a clever rhyme master. But, since you asked, in some of the forests of Serenia, the locals have observed that some of the trees that have lost their leaves are starting to regain them, and the leaves are beginning to phase from brown to green.
Goodness.
And here, there have been many more strange occurrences, even here, among the members of the newsletter staff. Some notes that the scribes write start to fade if they are left alone for very long. It's getting harder and harder to get anything done around here.
Strange. Have you had any reports on the cause of these strange occurrences?
It's all a mystery. Maybe you could decipher it with my help. If you'd only let me whisper it in your ear, of course.
Don't make me wait for tomorrow's edition of the newspaper.
These victims, men, I mean, of today have lost their sense of humor.
Maybe because you've eaten them all. Overwhelmed them all, I mean.
Very funny, sugar pie. No. Nobody knows the cause of these events. Some diced people, wise people, I mean, from the city of Stratos, have gathered in secret meetings, but we still need to hear a verdict.
The city of Astrados?
You need to get out there, sweetmeat. I mean, sweetheart. I'm talking about the great city of time, Astrados.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Oh my.
This is not New Orleans, and you are not a certain womanizer failure as a writer, loser to be shadow hunter kind of werewolf graces gone bad, hair axe, broke dude, now owns a castle, Mr. Knight, Graham. Which reminds me, where is Gabriel Knight 4?
I know.
I'd better be leaving.
All right. But promise me you'll be back. Tall, handsome, and tasty.
Maybe.
Hey. So, old lamps burn new? Burn new.
This old merchant had better have a good reason for being in a trade as odd as that.
Gabriel Knight was good. I was actually not too long ago trying to get the second game running, but it was just crashing all the time, so... RIP.
Tell me, merchant.
Huh? What was that? Oh, do you
What
me a new lamp for a fine new one?
No, sorry, I was just wondering. Your trade relies on the hope of you someday finding a genie or something in one of those lamps, right?
Why, yes, you are a well-traveled man, sir.
Thank you. And have you ever actually found a genie in one of these old lamps you've received?
Well, no.
And how long have you been in this trade?
Quite a while last time I looked.
And you have no intentions of retiring in the near future?
What? Retire? And miss out on the fortune of a lifetime? Never.
I must say you are determined. Good luck, I suppose.
Give me a
Ram
lamp for
doesn't
free.
want to bother the merchant again.
Maps? Essential maps of the Green Isles?
How do you do today, sir?
Oh, just fine.
It
These
looks
eyes
a lot
have
like
seen
it.
many a day darker than yesterday.
Yeah.
But still, I could be better.
What sort of maps do you carry?
I have maps of the individual islands, as well as a few rarer ones of supposed phantom islands. Those are more like collector items than navigational tools. and maps of the entire archipelago, as well as a few of the coastlines south of here. Not many people have made it there and back again. I'm sure you've heard of our infamous reefs and currents.
I'm sure my son knows a lot more than me.
Why are you asking? Are you planning on going anywhere?
Maybe.
Gimme.
Are you planning on going anywhere?
Maybe.
Maybe. Wait, I can give you a
Are
hand.
you planning on going anywhere?
Wait, can we... We used the hand on the spider. Maybe.
Hey, there you go.
Graham doesn't need those wares.
What?
Maybe.
Can...
Maps? Essential maps of the Green Isles and beyond.
What kind of candies are you selling there, merchant?
Well, I've got sugared dates, crystallized ginger, saltwater taffy, honey drops. You know, the usual. Oh,
Saltwater taffy. I'll take
you're
all
not
of
from
it.
around here, are you, sir?
No, but hearing what you're selling sure makes me wish I was.
Well, let me know if you want to buy anything.
I want them all.
How much will this coin buy me, peddler?
Oh, this isn't gold, is it?
Yes, it's gold. Why, is there something wrong with it?
No, nothing at all. It's just... I never thought I'd be holding this much money in my hands at one time.
I'll think nothing of it. How much will one gold coin buy me, though?
Probably all the saltwater taffy the water around these islands can yield. But that is, of course, much more than what I have in stock. The second largest amount I can give you might put me out of business.
I doubt that, merchant. How about one of everything you have? Will that do?
Oh, yes, I can give you that, sir. But I don't know if I have change for such a large sum.
It's all right, friend. Keep it. You'd make better use of it than I could.
Oh, bless you, sir. One moment, please.
Graham, you're
Here you
supposed
are,
to ask
sir.
for all the saltwater taffy.
Good day, and thank you again.
Thank you, come again. And now eat them. Go.
These certainly look very tasty, but Graham's never craved sweets very much.
Wow.
Wow. What king is that?
No lamps for...
Hush, little dude.
We need to give that lady a hand. Wah.
Oh my, a luscious morsel all for me. Hey, this is a fake arm. What are you trying to pull here, mister?
Hey, now we got poison for something.
It's a green hand.
Yay.
A lethal liquid. Check.
Oh.
Well, I was hoping we can talk to the worm dude, but yes. What say you now?
Hello again, Miss Widow.
My sweet meat. Sweetheart, I mean.
I'd better be leaving.
Ah.
Maybe.
We accidented our way all the way to this. Man, this is definitely a better use of a prosthetic than in the Monkey Island series. Maybe. I guess that's arguable. We'll say it's more useful. I'm sure none of this will be useful later.
Just content fillers, nothing else.
Okay, so we need, what do we need? An animated vessel?
Mm-hmm.
And
magical bag.
Okay, so clearly the animated vessel is just a cartoon drawing of a boat.
It looks like Casima's nightingale, Sing Sing, is raising a family of her own. Several noisy little nestlings are...
We know. We still talk to.
King Graham has not been yet.
No. This dog wasn't here before. It's a new dog.
Greetings.
Bonjour, Votre Majesté.
Whoa. Okay. Doggo guards are the best. Do we actually have anything to do in here?
Defend the kingdom.
King
Shamir.
I'm glad you're here. I've been hoping to speak with you privately. It's about the stranger.
But we needed to meet this dude.
Do you have any information about the stranger?
As a matter of fact, I do. A while ago, Alexander learned that Alhazred was communicating with a group of people. I heard the name Black Cloak Society mentioned often by him when he was my master.
Who were these people?
There were at least 6 or 7. Alexander mentioned your family had crossed paths with them at some point or another.
Why didn't you mention this last night?
I didn't want to alarm anybody. I wanted to make sure that my information was accurate.
Black Cloak Society. Do you think it's related to the Cloaked Man?
I'm positive. I looked again at some of the letters Alexander once found in Alhazred's room, and they confirm it. Here, look at these. The first is dated from a few years ago, but the second one arrived in Alhazred's magical letterbox just after he was captured. Alexander had hoped to use it to learn more, but the magical letterbox stopped working shortly after that.
To the brothers and sisters of the Black Cloak Society. I am sure you all have questions about this
mysterious voice speaking to you in dreams, as I once had. Fear it not, friends. It is the voice of our mighty leader, who is now preparing to walk among us once more. The time is drawing near. The prison that holds him is weakening, and it is now that we must join our forces and tip fate in our favor for the triumphant return of the Black Cloak Society to its former glory. We must not lower our guard, however. All signs seem to point to the return of the Silver Cloaks as well, but years ago we made every effort and sacrifice required of us to set in motion events that will lead to our victory. Even now, I have in my grasp one of the prophesied children. But we do not yet have everything we need. Now more than ever we must find the location of the box. Sister Lalote is sparing no efforts to find its rumored location in Tamir. To the return of the Black Cloak Society, may you all be in shadows.
Mananan.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was asleep for that, so I forgot she was going after Pandora's box.
Brother Alhazred, I received your letter that Prince Alexander of Daventry has
journeyed to your little island kingdom, and I write to you in haste. Though he may be a threat to your plans, you must not kill the boy. He is essential to our master's plan and the return to glory of the Black Cloak Society. Be wary. He is an intelligent young man and versed in magic. He is the same slave Gwydion who escaped Mananan years ago by turning one of his own spells upon him. To underestimate him would be foolish, and you must exercise caution and restraint in this situation, Alhazred. Reply acknowledgement as soon as you can.
May you be in shadows, Hagatha.
Agatha, wasn't she from the second game? She was in King's Quest 2.
Yeah, I think it was.
Wait.
Yeah.
Didn't we throw her off a cliff, though?
Chris, what did we...
I mean, it was a really tall tower, and she got... Or is this a different witch?
We've seen so many witches, I don't even know. Well, the answer is Strong.
This is grave news, Agatha. That's the vile witch who kidnapped Valenice and locked her in a tower in Colima. We never knew what
So
happened
that was the second.
And Manannan. That's the blackguard who stole Alexander when he was just an infant. He's the reason why Valenice and I spent so many sleepless nights worrying about our son.
Do you think he was the one at the wedding?
I don't see how he could be. The last I knew of him, he was stuck in the form of a cat as the result of a spell Alexander had cast on him. Do you know who this leader he speaks of might be?
I don't, but Alexander has been investigating this for some time. There is one name I can't recall, and I've been looking for this letter all over the place. It was received by Alhazred during the time I was under his command. I will look through Alexander's notes and see what I can make of it, Your Highness. Perhaps the answers are in front of us yet.
Thank you. And Shamir?
Yes?
Do not mention any of this to anyone, especially not to my wife. This letter from Hagatha would only upset her, as would the one from Manannan. Until we know more, I don't wish to burden her or the rest of my family further.
My lips are sealed, sire.
So, what is this Black Cloak Society?
1,000 years ago, there existed a dark cult of the worst and most evil wizards in the world. A despicable force that grew stronger with each passing year. At first, they only caused minor problems, but they steadily became a stronger force and a menace to all the known lands.
And they still exist to this day? I believe Alexander mentioned them once or twice now that I think of it, but he never told me much about it.
What's more interesting is how they formed and where they drew their name from. You saw how in the letter he mentions the Silver Cloaks? They were another society that was even more secretive. There is almost no mention of them at all in any of the records I've been able to find. I didn't make the connection until I came across an ancient tome in a library far from here. The Silver Cloak Society was formed by some of the wisest and most noble wizards, the perfect antithesis to the Black Cloaks.
But who exactly were these Silver Cloaks?
I'm not completely sure, but I do know they were masters of a lost form of magic that controls dreams.
Like the spell the Archdruid told me about.
Not exactly. The Silver Cloaks could not only control dreams, but they could shape them into whatever they wished. They could drag people into the dream world and even make dreams appear around us in the waking world. The tome implied the most powerful of them could even form reality from dreams themselves.
Making dreams come true? And real? Is that even possible?
I've heard of myths and legends that speak of magic that deals with dreams, but even to us genies, it's a mystery. And we've been around for more years than you can count. The spell you carry now is one I've never seen before. With almost no records of the Silver Cloaks existing at all, it's clear they were very secretive, but also that they were a force of good.
So they were essentially two societies at war?
It runs deeper than that, but yes, there was a war between them.
What happened at the end of the war?
In due time, sire. First go back to the beginning. There was a society of dark wizards that wanted nothing more than power. It turned some of them into dark beasts, inhuman walking shadows. With this power, they ravaged the lands, killed innocents, brought suffering everywhere they went. That was the beginning of the war, and by all accounts, it was truly devastating. But the Silver Cloaks were wise, and they crafted a weapon that trapped the shadows and sealed them away forever.
And so they defeated them?
I'm not sure. That's where the trail runs cold. There are no records of the war, the Silver Cloaks, or the Black Cloaks after that. It's as if they all just vanished. Something must have happened, but I don't know what. I'm not sure anyone does.
This is an interesting story, but it doesn't explain why that stranger or this Black Cloak Society would want to curse my children.
It has everything to do with them, sire. The artifact the Silver Cloaks used to defeat the Dark Wizard the first time around was called Pandora's Box.
Pandora's box? Rosella found it in Tamir. The box mentioned in the letter. It is the one and the same.
Exactly. They must be seeking Pandora's box once again.
But why? What exactly did this artifact do?
I'm not sure exactly how it worked, but somehow they did use it to trap the shadows inside. And there are no records that say what happened to it after it was used.
Yet somehow it ended up in Tamir, and Rosella found it there. Lolote needed her help to do so. But Rosella stopped her before she could give it to the others, and then locked the box up again. If what you say is true, then this box, it can never be opened again. I shudder to think what the consequences of such an action would be.
You must stop this man from finding it.
First I must save my children, then I'll deal with that.
I get the feeling that in order to accomplish the first, you may find you'll have to do the latter as well.
That may be the case. Thank you. And again, let's keep this between us until we know more. This is good information, but without anything more current, I don't know that we can use any of it. A very strange storm took over the Isles last night.
I know. We felt it here, too. It was unnatural. Something happened last night, something big, and I don't know what it was.
Let me know if you find the cause.
I shall, sire.
I should get back to my quest.
Good luck, sire. I will continue researching.
Pernil.
Pernil.
Was like an actual Pernil.
I didn't get to see the Pernil until...
There's some drunk dude here.
Oh, Edgar, are you awake?
What? Who? Oh, it's you, King Graham. Did you make it back all right? Sun is up already. What time is it?
Mid-morning.
Well, no wonder. I stayed with Rosella until the storm passed. Then I came here.
Wandering in the memories of what could have been is only going to make things worse for you.
I can't help it. Besides, it's not going to make it any easier if I'm somewhere else. Rosella is still under that spell, no matter where I am.
It's not where you physically are, but where your heart is that matters. You have to believe.
I'm trying.
Son, I know I already asked you this, but you didn't get to see the stranger's face?
I gazed at it. The little I could see under that hood. But my eyes were locked up in his eyes. Red, scary eyes. Just thinking of those eyes sent shivers down my spine.
Did he look human?
I was about to say that. No, not at all. But then again, I just couldn't tell. It was evil, that's all I know.
What do you think of the Green Isles?
It's different. Different from any land I've ever seen before. Different from Tamir, different from Eldritch, different from Etheria. But I think I love it.
You're not alone there.
It's just that, what's happened here? Why? Why did this have to happen? Such a beautiful day, ruined entirely.
I've been trying to answer that question myself, but I'm most certain that things always happen for a reason. What the reason is, we have yet to see.
I don't see any worthy reasons for this to happen.
Sometimes we can't see them, not right away. There are acting forces greater than us after all. The fates can be mysterious.
Couldn't this just be explained by pure evil?
Perhaps. But what seems evil at first often leads to something good, if we are determined enough to change it.
It's hard for me to see it that way. But you do have more experiences than I do.
Yeah. A little, yeah.
I must tell you, I had my doubts about you and Rosella.
Why?
Don't get me wrong, but Rosella is such an adventurous young lady, and you seem more moderate than she.
We always meet at a middle point. I must say, though, that most of the times I find myself dragged into her crazy ideas. Do you remember the celebrations following the restoration of the Mask of Eternity?
Yes, you weren't able to go because... it was you in that disguise, wasn't it?
I thought it was a little too crazy at the time. But that's Rosella. She formulated that whole plan of me going to the celebration in disguise so as not to attract attention to us. Or that's what she said. I just think she did it for the sake of excitement. It's not that I'm blaming her or something, and it seemed to work too. No one seemed to even glance at me. You don't know what a relief it was, not to be gawked at like some expensive painting, or to be asked questions about when Rosella and I were going to be married. It all seems a little silly to me now, but boy, she is so determined. She was always pulling me into these little plots of hers.
That sounds like a perilous life you're looking forward to.
Well, maybe I'm not looking to stick my head in a thorn bush. But I do want Rosella to be my... my wife.
Let me tell you something, my child. Rosella is probably the bravest young woman I have ever seen. And I'm not telling you because she's my daughter. Why, most of the time, I wish she was just a regular girl.
Well, that's everything she's not.
She has her own way of loving. And if you got her to settle her head down and get married, she must love you incredibly.
I think she does.
I'm sure she does. What do the people of your homeland think of your marriage to Rosella?
Where's Connor? We need him.
My father made the announcement. Some of the fairies laughed, some cheered, some shouted at me.
Why would they do that?
Well, you have to keep in mind that I'm not human. I'm a fairy that looks human, like my Aunt Militia. And a fairy marrying a human may seem ridiculous to some of the, well, higher citizens of Etheria.
It's not how everyone else feels about what you choose, but what your heart tells you, lad. That's all that matters.
It took me a while to realize that, but my love for Rosella made me see it that way. My family is possibly closer to humanity than most of the supernatural beings. We think that humans and fairies couldn't survive without each other. That seems like a perfectly good reason to marry Rosella to me. Besides, even before I knew who I really, was, I knew that I loved her.
That's how I've always felt about my Valenice. I loved her the moment I saw her. Keep your hopes up, Edgar, and soon you and Rosella will be together again, as it should be.
Thank you for saying that, Your Majesty. I can only hope that she will be well again soon.
Edgar, you met the same fate as my son. You were taken from your family when you were an infant and raised by someone who wasn't your mother. How did it feel?
Why don't you ask your son? It's not that I couldn't tell you, but...
Because Alexander, he doesn't talk much about it.
I don't know if I should say this, but it's funny that you mentioned that.
Why?
I don't know.
I won't let him know.
Well, I guess it wouldn't do any harm. A couple of days ago, it was late at night, and Rosella and Cassima were busy with the wedding dress and all that. So I walked to the beach, and Alexander was there, swimming in the sea. He didn't have his shirt on, and I saw these scars on his back.
Scars? Heavens. Did he notice you there?
He did. I didn't know what to say. It was very awkward for both of us. I was about to leave, but he asked me to stay. When I said it was funny you asked me that question, was because he asked me the same. He then went on to ask me if I had recovered from my own kidnapping.
What was your answer?
Your Majesty, I didn't suffer as much as your son did. Lalotte did love me, in her own twisted way. She did protect me. I wasn't treated as a slave, but as her son.
Didn't you ever feel she wasn't your true mother?
It was hard to tell. I guess sometimes I did, but I got used to it. That was something Alexander told me he never did. He somehow knew he had a family out there. He could never bear the thought of never seeing them. You.
Maybe that's why he escaped while you stayed.
In my case, it was Rosella who made me see. Who gave me the strength to do something about it. But for Alex, it was another story.
Has Alexander talked to you more about it since that night?
No, I never expected him to say anything the first time either.
Did you mention any of this to Rosella?
No, I didn't want to weigh Rosella down with these stories. I don't think she's aware of this. She's very proud of him. She says she always knew he was alive, and she'd dream about meeting him, and over the years, she created this image of him in her mind.
I'm happy to know that they get along so well.
Rosella insists that he should talk more, and sometimes she wishes he would tell her more about his past. But her love for him is pure. She even told me once that one of the reasons she rejected me the first time we met in Tamir was because she couldn't bear the feeling that she was going to be separated so soon from her brother, after having just met him.
I know how true that is. After she came back from Tamir, they would spend all their time together, day and night. Rosella was eager to show Alexander every hidden corner of Daventry, even when Alexander would sometimes prefer to stay alone reading, or be in the company of his mother.
Rosella says he's very close to the Queen.
Yes. While Rosella and I are much alike, Alexander really enjoys the company of his mother, and to Valenice this is a treasure, especially after believing him dead for so many years.
Do you think this family... And excuse me for being so bold of calling you my family.
You are one of us, my child.
Do you think we'll ever find happiness?
There's a paradox to that. You couldn't know what happiness is if you don't live through the tougher times like this. They make you stronger, and they make you value those moments of happiness with all your heart.
That is one thing I've learned already. But sometimes it seems as though there are more tough times than good. And we've all had enough of those.
So, I'd better be off now.
Farewell, Your Highness. Tell me if there is anything at all I can do to help Rosella.
I will.
Okay. Save. So, what did we gain?
Backstory. Literally. A story about a man's back.
Huh. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Someone must have
What is that
forgotten
goodie
this
on the
water
floor?
bottle here.
Looks like something that shoots fire.
Ah, the
I
wonders
want a
of
water bottle that
technology.
looks that cool.
Whoever invented this spraying mechanism must have been a genius. The bottle is empty.
We fill it with...
I know it's supposed to be a water spritzer, but I want a water bottle that looks like that. Looks like a flintlock pistol with a jar.
As dashing as he may look in armor, that suit is not only too large to fit Graham, it's far too heavy to be of any real use to him. The king much prefers his own clothing, nice and light to let him move quickly, and the colors complement his skin tone so perfectly.
Hey.
Why, thank you, narrator.
From something that.
Yeah.
Have a look at the kids right now.
I can't go back in there now. My children need my help. Besides, they're in good hands, and I trust that they will be until I return.
The good boys got this.
Please, Zero.
It's a biscuit.
The biscuit. The actual biscuit. I mean. It
It's
is.
locked. Then I should let Valenice rest.
Not my own. So, what did the genie say?
robes of multiple colors.
Okay, so we need one that's silver.
And Pandora's box.
And goodies.
I don't.
He said. Can you imagine if we had axe, we could just hack our way through this?
We could.
And what is that place? the island of the Tower of the Girl that she's in. Couple of retweets. Let me see.
Oh no.
Yeah, if you can do. The Tower Dada. What?
Hassan, the ferry captain, stands by his vessel, looking a little less downtrodden than he did the previous day.
We do that now. Really? Where was it? And then there was evil.
Hassan, he's a fairy tale.
No, it's very much real.
Hassan.
Good day indeed. After that thing that looked like the start of the apocalypse last night, any day seems like a good day. Ready to sail?
I've encountered many sailors during my adventures. I always wondered what it's like to live in the sea, being a land person myself.
There's nothing like working on what you love. Feeling the air in your face as you sail across new areas. It's an amazing experience, Graham.
Did you always want to be a sailor?
All of my life. It runs in the family. My father trained me on how to sail this ferry, as did his father before him, and so on. I've yet to make enough money to support a family, since I've been out of the business for so long. Maybe a while before I have a son to teach, but hopefully
I don't know.
I've got enough life ahead of me.
I wish I could say the same for my son.
I would guess
What?
no.
My son, your king. He was kidnapped from us when he was only a few months old and became a slave to an evil sorcerer. He returned to us a short time before his 18th birthday. We've only really known him for a few years, and that's hardly enough time to teach a prince how to rule a kingdom.
The things you learn. I wouldn't worry about him, though. He has good instincts. He asks the right questions, he gets the right answers. He was able to find a way off this island and navigate his way through all the others. He's done what no other princes I've known, even though I've known next to none, have been able to do. Bring the former king and queen back from the dead, uncover the evil plot of a seemingly innocent man, gain possession of a genie, and if you say he survived slavery under an evil sorcerer, then there's no doubt he's a smart fella. He's got the basics down, and I'm sure that his wife can help him in any area where he needs it.
Still, as a father, I just can't stop worrying.
Just like my own father. What's funny is that I never really learned until I went out there by myself. When you don't have someone to call to, and the storm is at your bow, you always find a way to manage, though.
I can relate. My story's not too different from yours. You have a pretty island here. The view is incredible.
What can any man say about the place he was born? I'm glad to live and breathe on this isle, as hard as times may be sometimes. It's less crazy than the Isle of Wonder, more civilized than the Isle of the Beast, more down to earth than the Isle of the Sacred Mountain, and certainly more solid than the newly discovered Isle of Mist and any other rocks that might be hiding out there near the boundaries of the world. This little place is the best spot for anyone to live, native to the archipelago, or otherwise.
Home is always the most beautiful place, Captain.
It was even the safest spot to be during those hard times we were having shortly before King Alexander arrived. He was darned lucky to have washed up on this very isle all right.
The works of destiny, my friend. The works of destiny.
Who knows what might have happened to him otherwise? Alhazred might have found out and snuffed him out like a candle. The twisted toad. 15 years with that scheming warthog inside the castle walls. Why didn't someone realize the truth sooner?
Sometimes we have to realize what we are about to lose in order to know how precious it is to us.
Yes, and I'm more grateful to your son than I can express in words, Graham. We all are.
Big.
Since you mentioned hidden places in these lands, that makes me wonder. The Archdruid told me to look for a magic bag that was lost in the sea. Do you have any ideas where I could find this?
I may know these waters like the palm of my hand, but its depths, that's another question. It'd be like finding a needle in a haystack, if you catch my drift.
And
we need King Anthony.
We need King Anthony right now.
Ali, the bookshop owner.
With scuba
that
gear.
Man knows about everything that goes on in these lands.
I'll follow your
Imagine if
advice.
there was King Anthony with scuba gear.
You must know all about the village. I mean, being born here and all.
You betcha. It's not that big, but we've got everything a village needs. A baker, a weaver, a metal worker, a doomsayer.
What?
Just pulling your leg. We do have our share of eccentrics, which we tolerate all the time. Well, most of the time anyway. But this being the best as well as the safest isle, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose.
Where do most of the people live?
Mostly on the outskirts. Not many of them live in the actual village, unless they enjoy being kept up by late-night festivals, and being woken up by peddlers bellowing out what they're selling before the sun's fully up in the morning.
Seems like a fun place to live in.
Ah, yes. Best place in the world, Graham. Best place in the world.
I'm grateful my son met Cosima. She's a very brave woman.
Yes, sir. That's what I always say. Don't let yourself be fooled by her delicate look. The girl has a brave soul.
I sensed that in her when I first met her in Mordok's castle back when the wizard had enslaved her. She saved my life.
Did she? So she didn't only help the king bring the vizier down, but she also helped you?
She's full of surprises.
Even as a little girl, I could tell that Cosima was going to be a fine ruler when she grew up. She loved the town and the townspeople. She would often go down to the bookstore to read Ali's latest arrivals. And, of course...
She rode your ferry.
Who's telling this story?
Oh, go on, I'll be quiet.
Anyway, like you said, she loved to ride the ferry from isle to isle. That was until that dog Alhazred's activities made the isle so dangerous that I had to stop ferrying passengers entirely. Cosima was so sad. She was almost a teenager then. Still, that didn't stop her from visiting the village whenever she could. The way she talked, you'd think she was one of the regular townspeople. And when she grew up and started spending more time at the castle, being trained to be a queen, it was heartbreaking for some of us. It was like...
Was you they met at the end of
when Alexander was taken
King's
to the
Quest
kingdom
V?
sorrow as well.
Briefly.
I can't believe it's all happening again.
Calm down, sire. Calm down. There's a clear day to follow every stormy night.
Before we set sail, let's have a small break. I'll be back in 1 moment.
Okay.
Looks like cleanup on aisle 4.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you. That, and ready to
sail.
Yes.
Didn't he say we should have talked to Book Boy about the magic bag?
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Oh well.
Should we? We should.
Did we? Did we already do that? We
No,
spent
we
like the
haven't.
last hour just in conversations.
Yeah, when there's that much speech, I'm like just phasing out of it.
A lot of it. Hey, do you remember when this happened in those other King's Quest games that you just played a few months ago?
We just played them, so thank you. We do. Like you're telling me something new I've never heard before, or something.
Although, admittedly, for most people, I imagine that they haven't played through most of the games. So, is this me, Jolo?
How fare you today, bookkeeper?
Very well, King Graham.
He doesn't know.
Let me do some research.
Be my.
Maybe you came here for a joke. Maybe for a little chat. In any case, just let me know.
Goodbye, my friend.
Ooh, did you know my face looks like it was stung by bees?
Nah, it's just both. Can I take the pen?
The unassuming counter serves its purpose for the old bookkeeper.
So he knew nothing of the bag.
We probably already talked to him about it, but that was an hour of dialogue earlier, so
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So where should we go?
Isle of Wonder.
Okay.
Clearly.
Good day, Hassan.
Good day indeed. Ready to sail?
Okay. Where's the wonder? Here's the one. Maybe you need an item before. Ooh, maybe you need an item before speaking to him. What is that?
A lamp?
It's a clan
A living creature? Some strange piece of alien technology meant for communication with the cosmos? A heated device ready to burn unwary travelers to a crisp? Around here, there's really no telling.
Okay. So, it's a thing. Maybe we meet again.
I do not wish to wake them up.
Where's my horn? That, you know, the one in King's Quest 7. Now that was a horn.
Why? They look so cute when they're sleeping.
I do not...
The large oysters cozily sleep in the warm sun.
Oyster beds? How clever.
Aye, sire, most oyster beds are cute, but these oysters are far from cute. They're far from normal.
Do you mean?
Graham doesn't think that will help him.
Where's the evil gnomes with the evil papers? This place is missing some. Ew, they look even creepier than ever.
A crying cabbage. Graham actually prefers his coleslaw quiet.
What in... Let me go! What in the name of Daventry is this?
Ah, the beloved Magnet. Isn't he a cute little fellow?
Oh dear.
Graham has no desire to get mixed in a conversation with these creatures. Graham has no desire.
None of
Graham
these?
has... Graham...
Cram.
The speckled gates are locked tight against intruders.
Away.
Rats. It's locked.
We need hamsters.
Graham doesn't want to disturb them.
How do we get the magnet? Then we get the
Poor thing looks dead.
Leave us alone.
Can I get them?
Oh, they don't have 2 frames of animation.
Poor thing looks dead.
Hey, we need to give it water. Obviously.
Whoa! Too cold.
Why do you even walk that way when it's... Okay, we know.
What in... Let me go!
So we need to give all our monies to something, and then it... Wait. Oh yeah, the grapes.
Those grapes look sour. This reminds Graham of that time when Alexander was overwhelmingly irritated at Rosella because she dragged Edgar along with her to get some grapes from a distant forest in Daventry that she had heard were delicious. They got lost in the forest, and when they were still missing after nightfall, Alexander took some of the guards to find them. The two were found huddled together and almost freezing in the woods. When Cosima asked Rosella if the grapes were as delicious as she'd hoped and worth all the trouble, Rosella made a face and said, no, they were sour. Everyone laughed, even Valenice, who'd been quite worried at the time. Nowadays, Alexander likes to tell that story to embarrass both his sister and her fiancé when the mood strikes him, although Rosella and Edgar both still laugh at it.
How easy is it for you to get grapes first?
There's a goodie.
I know what these things may... Oh, let's see.
How nice of you to come see us.
I can't breathe. Please let go of me.
What goodies? I think we have expired.
I want to love him and squeeze him and call him George.
Where does retry send?
All the way
back to the game. We didn't. Yeah. So we need some kind of stick, like... There's no way to use the hand twice.
Bottle.
But it's empty.
We combine the bottle with the poison.
But then we have no poison.
Graham considers it, but
we
then
still
decides
have poison,
not
but
to.
it's in a bottle.
What if we just go here?
We're on the wrong island, aren't we?
It's the same water.
Fine then, we must go to the Isle of the Beasts.
Something tells me we may need fountain water.
Ah, the wonders of technology. Whoever invented this spraying mechanism, the bottle is filled with seawater.
Because if we have good water, we could do something good.
What if we spray it
like
on
the
the
dried
thing and then it kills it?
For the dried bees we need. Good one. Pernil. That's got.
Oh, it's the key to the door.
Our boat rental is expiring, you know.
Try as he might, Graham cannot get his hand out of the hole. Without food and water, he perishes in the hot sun.
What? Where did I? There was
Graham.
grapes.
How long have you been at this? You should know by now that sticking your hand into a mysterious hole isn't going to end well.
So, yeah, I could have eaten the grapes and lived happily ever. So how do we block this thing? Then we use the hand
What do we
again.
have?
The elk is very blocky.
Unfortunately, they are incompatible.
Why?
Clearly the bag of money blocks it. Money solves all problems, right?
That won't work, but keep trying.
Imagine if we have the magnets. We grab it with that. Right?
Yeah.
How do we get it?
We give it our money.
And then it's gonna be so happy that we just win.
Good idea. Now, where do you want to lead him to?
Oh, that was a thing.
Do we
So
want
where
to
do we want to lead?
We want to lead him to the not the coin, the key. We want to lead him to the key.
Let's use it here. Right away. So much money is here. Wasted. Imagine if it brought my cursor, that would be amazing.
Oh, we just did.
Right in the face. Okay.
And now we get our monies back too, right?
Where's my monies? The key. Okay. Now, is that the dopest key you've ever seen?
This
Yeah, it's up
is
there.
without a doubt the craziest looking key Graham has ever seen in his life. It almost looks like someone dropped a boulder on top a key and some other wacky creature to make it. And considering where he found it, Graham's not entirely certain that might not be the case.
Oh no, do they still have the lump of coal or not?
What are you doing here? Chessboard land is no place for humans.
That's right. Only chess pieces are allowed. Don't even think of trying to enter.
Please, Sir Knights, I am King Graham of Daventry. I am on a very important mission to revive my son, King Alexander, and his sister, Princess Rosella. I may find helpful ingredients in your land.
Your quests are of no importance to us.
That's right. They are of no importance to us.
I must insist.
I don't care how important you say the matter is. We have strict orders from the Red and White Queens. They'll have our heads if we allow any trespassers inside.
That's right. They will cut off our heads in a guillotine.
How tyrannical.
And besides, the chess match is over now. Everybody wants some peace, especially after the events of those two queens.
That's right. Especially with those events simply disrupting.
Who won the match?
Nobody.
That's right. Nobody did. The queens, as usual, got mixed in an endless discussion of who cheated who.
And in the middle of the match, the White King stood up and he said, "I've had it."
That's right. I've had it, he said, and left.
The king left?
Correct. Never to come back again.
That's right. And the match was unfinished.
That's some story.
Well, now that you know, please leave.
That's right. Leave now.
All right.
What?
So what did we gain from that?
Nothing. We lost the key. But what if you try again?
We said leave.
That's right. Leave.
We need some knowledge of something, so.
Clearly we need paint so we can impersonate the White Queen, the White King.
Any words of advice on traveling the Isle of Wonders? I've heard it's very far from normal.
It's a funny place, aye. Be careful not to anger the chessboard queens, or you may end up in their guillotine. I narrowly avoided it myself once, and thanks to that, I can't go any further than this dock on the island itself.
My goodness. What did you do?
Well, let's just say I had 2 gold earrings, sire, and not likely to get the second one back anytime soon.
I see.
Hello, Oscar. How have you been?
Ready to sail?
Where is the next?
To the Isle of the Beast. Assuming that's one of the islands we can go to.
Well, it's grey, so no.
The Archdruid told me
Never
that the scroll
mind,
is
to the
enchanted
island
with
of
the wisdom
Doki
of Mother
people.
Nature, and will guide me through my journey.
Who
I
is
should follow
Doki
its
people?
directions.
The people with wings.
It's funny that they have this huge island, and that's the island you see. Listo.
Hello, Oscar.
Now can I begin? Fine. Look at him go.
Can you still hear the horse, by the way?
Well, I did.
That was the last time you heard the horse.
What? By the 3 magic treasures? Aha. And who might you be, little fellow?
Oh, he's still here!
Slow down, my fantastic friend. What is it that you say? I can't decipher your tongue. The sea? Over the sea? I understand. You are lost and you want to go home. I'm sorry, I wish I could help you go home, but I'm on a critical mission. All right, don't cry. You can come along. I'll do my best to bring you home. Jump in, my new companion.
Yay.
Graham doesn't want to waste his time. They will only continue to ignore him.
So we got the thing. What was what's the full name? No. Oh, I think that's. Well, we have to see if he joins the chat. That was George.
The first mate
Miller?
looks sour and in a very untalkative mood.
Ready to sail?
Well, hole in the wall lives in the thingy.
Yep.
Should we get some nice water first from here?
Oh yeah.
Because this is the only place in the whole world where you can get good water. But only if this is empty.
The bottle is filled with seawater.
How does one unsee?
Tick tock, tick tock.
You don't look at it.
Graham considers it, but then decides not
That's how
to.
you see it.
No, I will.
That is not going to work.
How does one unsee water?
You just use it on the fountain, and then it'll instantly replace the water.
Okay.
New lamps for old.
What?
New lamps per new.
He poured seawater in there, that's cheating. Xbox is still here. It's broken.
Old lamps per new.
Hey, we got the lock.
Graham hopes this padlock won't stand up and lock his arm to something while he's not paying attention.
Graham finds it very odd to have found the strange hole-in-the-wall companion Alexander talked so much about.
What I find odd is Alexander talking that much about anything. Even when he was a baby, he would almost never cry out or scream at all.
There he goes on another one of his long-winded trips down memory lane. Let's just skip this one, shall we? The wonders of technology. Whoever invented
the bottle is filled with fresh water.
That's all I want to know. Do you want to hear it again?
Whoever.
Okay.
Good day, Hassan.
Good day indeed.
I did not talk to the
Thank you
You
for
did
talking.
before, and it went. You do not want to buy any of these things. Penny.
Well, last time he said, "Flirty flirt, I need no map." Her. I am a shiver. I know how to sail the waters. Okay. That's what he said.
Yep. I know, at least they referenced King of the Mask of Eternity, but where's Connor?
course, Connor.
No. Find maps for sale.
I like
Are
Connor.
you planning
He's
on
super
going
jokey.
anywhere?
Maybe. Well, how do I take my money?
Graham doesn't need those wares.
Yes, I do.
Graham wonders if the Isles get enough visitors to support a life as a map seller. If Graham wants any of those goods, he should talk to the merchant who owns them.
Well, all I know what to say is maybe.
No.
Old lamps per new.
Show him what?
Do we have
How
it?
do I show him my map?
Well,
I don't
you
have a
pull
map.
out your magic map,
I don't have a map.
and then he'll give you a strange pulling sensation.
Sounds inappropriate, but or is this not the map? Is it?
This has come in very handy. Not only is it showing me the ingredients I need for the spell to cure Alexander and Rosella, but also where to locate them.
Map.
That is our map.
How is this my map?
Look, it's a map, see?
From what part is this? But yeah, I gave him money and he was like, you don't want any of that. You'd be able to get
Show
a
me
map
piece
from
of
him.
paper, Janttu.
Okay.
Chris has spoken.
Chris has spoken.
And he often talks to Cedric and gets misinformation, so
He
I'm
would
sure this
never.
will be fine. Cedric likes to trick him, what can I say?
And then Cedric goes, ooh, I tricked you.
He goes, woo! No,
Graham wonders
how
if the
does
Isles...
Cedric go?
Graham wants any of those...
So, I give him money.
Graham doesn't need those wares. Unfortunately, they are
That's
incompatible.
money, that's not a map.
And
Show
you
him
was
the
just
map.
trying. This is not a map.
It's
Graham
totally
doesn't
a
think
map.
they'll be able to help him in his search.
See?
See?
It totally didn't work.
Graham is generous, but not that generous.
Help. Chris, what do we do?
Are you planning on going anywhere?
Maybe.
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 Graham wonders if the Isles get enough...
I wonder.
Old lamps per new. Well, Chris, what do you have to say now?
Is your loved one feeling down? Then buy her one of our candy clowns.
Maps? Essential maps of the Green Isles and beyond? Ideal for the traveler. Buy them here.
Oh, none of this will.
Give him candy for the map.
Graham doesn't want to give that away.
Look at his map.
New lamps for
It's
all.
so inappropriate, Chris.
Essential
You
maps.
don't just walk up to a man and look at his map.
Graham wonders if the Isles get enough visitors to support a life as a maps. Graham wonders if...
All the maps are the same. Yeah, because you know how these maps are in this game. They give you strange pulling sensations. Don't look at other people's maps.
Graham wonders if the Isles...
Because the pulling sensation is meant to be personal. Just
New lamps for all.
Old lamps per new.
so let's say we get the map later.
Yeah.
Can I go water my peas now? In peace?
Yes, you can water your peas in peace.
Yes. And then they turn into green peas, and then we take it, and then we put it under someone's sleeping thing. And
Good day, Hassan.
Good day.
Yep.
Ready to sail?
Oh, lamps Purdue.
One. You're not going that far. Hush. Move out of the way. What are the good ones? What? What? Why you not pick it up?
That's illegal, you know.
What? Doesn't let me pick things up.
Can you give the candy to the cabbages?
Ah, the bottle.
The poor thing looks dead.
Beyond repair.
Oh. Well, you could have said that before. So what?
This is where the
Candy
hole
to
in the wall
babies?
lives. Give them to the
It does.
chair.
That won't work, but keep trying.
Hole in the wall lives behind these amazing flowers.
If it makes you feel any better, I would have tried that too. But then we'd both be wrong. Graham can... Unfortunately, that won't... If it makes... But then we'd both... Graham can...
Tick-tock.
How do we... Hole in the wall?
That won't work. If it... But then we'd...
Because Flirty Fleur, you have to use it in some certain place first before giving it away.
That is not going to work.
Alright, Cedric, what do we do?
Graham has no desire to get mixed in a conversation with these creatures.
I don't know, they look kind of creepy. Way back then.
Graham has
I think
no
they look
desire.
like that just because they're spooky.
Did I ever try to pick up the grapes?
Chris says you need to leave scrapes alone.
Off, mister.
What's Chris say? Those are my grapes. Get your own grapes.
He says you need to talk to the little drummer boy that's fishing.
Drummer boy, that's fishing.
He says talk to the fishing boy. Pa-rum-pa-pum-pum.
And then you get the map.
He'll tell you where to go. Pa-rum-pa-pum-pum.
Ready to sail?
He'll show you his map now.
Inappropriate.
The boy is trying to concentrate. This Better to object leave him is not alone. responding.
Or maybe he wants some can.
We already talked to the fisher boy, Chris.
And
I'll trade you this candy for your fishing pole.
Really? Wow! Everyone says strangers try to poison you with candy. Well, you live life nice, sir. Here is my pole. Thanks, mister!
I think he's related, John. Okay, now we fish immediately.
Graham's
How
not in
does
the
fishing
mood
help
for
us?
fishing. He's been well fed at the Castle of the Crown.
Well, what? We'll fish the map.
There you go. No, really, what are we supposed to do with the fishing pole?
Speaking of castle,
Castle.
what goes on in the castle?
Guys, you guys are something else. All I have to say about that is wow, 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 wow.
What?
What did Mask of Eternity do?
It did something with cracks in poles and stuff. Fish the...
Fish the bird.
Now that's a ban. That's just so evil. How can you be so evil? You don't fish birdies, do you? I haven't been able to do anything up here in a while.
It's locked.
Graham, no.
Where are we supposed to go fishing? In the castle.
I can't go back in there.
Greetings. Help me.
Greetings, Your Majesty.
Well, that didn't help. I hear horses in the background.
There's no point.
That's new.
Do we fish the doggo? Oh.
Casima once told me this necklace was a gift from her grandmother when she was a child. She said she kept it with her to remember how her grandmother always told her everything would be all right when she was sad or upset.
Okay.
Does that mean Casima has been princess napped?
There's no point.
Well, getting that item doesn't really tell me anything. So we give that thing to the thing and we get a map for some reason. One who talks too much.
King it.
But wait.
What?
If there's something up here now. Like horse? You can hear it in the distance. Hear a horse? Nope. No horse. It's a seahorse. Well, then it makes all sense.
Yeah, Janttu. See? Horse.
See? Horse. Animations.
The seahorse was in the second game.
And 7th, kind of.
I mean, we
They
did
were
see a
flying.
7, right?
We did. They were flying. Because that's what they do.
I need to put this guy away.
Why?
I don't know.
Imagine if all the cars were, horses.
Every time I move, this guy goes off.
And we get a map. One game, Chris really wants us to have a map.
No lamb.
Find maps for sale. Are you?
Maybe.
And now give the money. Money.
Graham doesn't need those wares.
How do we make the game believe
Show
we
him the
need?
necklace.
Graham is generous, but not that generous.
Quick, show him the fishing pole. That will convince him that we're going fishing.
Graham doesn't
Sell
want
us a
to
map.
give that away.
You know, this looks like a pile of poop. Just maybe they like flowers.
Graham is generous.
Maybe they like blocks.
Graham doesn't want
Fish
to
the
give
maps, Janttu.
that won't work, but keep trying.
Okay, let's keep.
If it makes you feel any better, but then we both. Graham considered. Unfortunately,
Here's some candy.
that won't work.
There is nothing we can.
Have we tried spraying him in the face with water?
No. And it might just work.
Graham is generous.
Graham doesn't
Spray
want
the
to
maps.
give. That won't work. If it makes you feel, but then we both.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Oh, do that.
No lamb.
Can we spray the spider out of him?
Why would Graham
lamb
want to do
spray.
that now?
What did he say now? I mean, she.
Why would Graham want to do that now?
Not now, so we do it later.
Graham considers.
Because do we have to talk to those things? Wait, can I open the thing? How does one save? Save. Yes. Not that thing.
My. A luscious morsel all for me.
I didn't click that. I'll click.
That's what you get for fooling around with other women, Graham.
Graham could imagine. Graham could. It's locked. How?
But there's a way to open that with a hole in.
Lock.
Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense.
What if I exchange the locks with him? Wait, what? You're walking that way? Why? What? What? What?
I knew it!
You open the lock with a.
Because it makes no sense and it's
What
for
would you-
Wonderland.
Is it real or is that just some kind of Easter egg? I don't.
What is this? I think it's laughing at me.
That is not going to work.
Okay.
So now I could go anywhere I want and go like, do you want to hear a funny joke? Oh, Zero would love that if Zero just take this thing in his hands and go, did you get your tickets? And does his thing, and then this goes, whoa, and Zero will be forever pleased.
Zero would love canned laughter.
Yeah. Give money to map guy, gets map. What can I? Tell me I can open this page. And don't tell me that makes a difference.
Alexander gave his father some currency of the Green Isles coins.
That probably makes a difference.
But it looks closed.
Graham doesn't need those wares.
I don't know what to do.
Give him money.
Let's give him
Can
the
you
face.
just grab one coin out of the bag?
Graham is generous, but tick-tock.
Well, it's just saying that I don't need.
Use the money on the map.
That won't work. If it makes you feel any, but then we... Graham...
Try the maps in the background.
What now?
The maps in the background.
That... If it... But then...
I don't know.
Graham... Unfortunately...
Chris, are you sure that Cedric isn't tricking us?
If Graham wants any of those goods. If Graham wants...
Are you planning on going anywhere?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Like we still need something.
Give him the laughing thing. It's the only
I tried it, did nothing.
No lamps for old.
Try going to the bookshop again. Okay. And talk to Joe.
Wait, that's not. No.
We've tried just about everything we can do with the maps. I think
Just
we
like,
all the items.
just like in King's Quest 6, we tried everything with the door except touching it with the hand.
Yep. And just like with the first game, Janttu tried everything at the witch's house except trying to open it.
Twice. You need to open it twice. First time is like,
Yep. Look at the
Maybe
books.
you came
You
here
need to
for a
look at the
joke?
books.
Goodbye. Knows nothing.
Ooh, maybe you should read some books. Ooh.
Very well.
He knows nothing.
Let me do some. Be my.
Read all the books.
Are you sure?
None of the...
Oh yeah, give him the laughing thing.
Maybe he'll be pleased.
Graham takes...
Well done. Well done. Oh, Folklore of the Sea. That's important, Janttu. We should read that. Like, actually read
Graham
that.
considers it.
Read.
Trust me, I'm not looking
Graham
forward to
takes
it
the
myself,
book,
'cause
Folklore of the
last
Sea,
time I
and
gave
reads
books
through it.
voice.
Okay,
It
give
was
this book a voice.
It is known to many sea-going folk, fishermen, sailors, and ship captains. The sea is alive with intelligent creatures. Besides the mermaids and the mermen, there are the sea nymphs, the daughters of the ancient sea gods. The sea nymphs take the forms of beautiful young maidens, and they are very playful. Sometimes a mischievous sea nymph given to wicked inclinations will cause the wreck of a boat on the rocks with her singing. Other sea nymphs are good and will help sailors in need. They are fond of pretty objects and shiny things, especially jewelry. That is why many sailors carry at least one piece of gold with them at all times to give a nymph who may save their lives.
I think we have to give them the necklace. Where do we find them?
I don't know. Somewhere in the ocean, but yes, okay, we need to try the laughing thing with Jollo first.
I did.
You did?
Unfortunately,
It was so
they
uneventful
are
I didn't even
incompatible.
notice. Ah, they're incompatible.
They are. You have to give him sad things. Emoji.
The pawn shop is illegal, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unless for some reason it's open now. Let me in.
No one
Oh,
answered.
hello, Prince Graham. It's good to see you, Prince Graham. Hello, King Graham. It's good to see you.
Where do we find sea?
Now try the map again. But we already looked at that book, Chris.
Yeah.
The only difference is we looked at it longer and actually read it.
But the game doesn't know it. It only knows that we opened.
Yeah, we opened it like an hour and a half ago.
But wait, did that happen in chapter 1, so maybe it doesn't count?
No, it was chapter 2.
Okay.
The bookstore was closed in chapter 1. Clearly the answer is that man just sitting there.
Maps? Essential map.
Graham doesn't need those wares.
Are you?
But Graham doesn't need those wares.
I don't need them.
You don't
Graham
need a map,
wants
Chris.
any of
Who even needs a map?
Graham wonders if the Isles get enough visitors.
New land.
Forbidden map. So does it say what? What?
Chris is saying we need to have him pull out his magic map, and Zera's
No,
like,
that's
you
Zero.
need to touch him.
Whoa, whoa. We're not touching anyone, pulling out things. I mean, we're not touching things people are pulling out.
I mean, we have a fishing pole, we have a necklace. What more?
So can we combine those two? This one. We can. Now we go fish some sea creatures.
Even though it was a good idea, it doesn't seem to have worked.
But maybe you have to go to Doki Island?
Yes.
You need the map, but we ain't
Okay,
getting
Chris. You keep saying that.
Good day, Hassan.
Tell us how to get the
Good
map.
day.
We're clearly incapable
Ready to sail?
of figuring out how to get a map.
Maybe we broke it by doing something wrong. No.
Even though it was a good idea, it doesn't seem to have worked.
Maybe we have to do that some different island.
If Chris was like, Fluty Flu, you need to do this thing in order to buy the map, then you can. Even if the narrator's like, Graham doesn't need a map.
I cannot click on things.
What?
I think it's doing it.
We live in a doomed timeline.
We are in a doomed timeline. Hell,
We break the game.
we broke the game. Well, what if I save and load? Blur 4. Looked at the scroll.
Yes, we have looked at the scroll.
How do you make it
This
show
is coming very
things?
handy. Not only is it showing me...
Can I touch it to show the thing? I mean, how do I make it draw pictures of things to do?
A magical bag.
Slap it.
An animated vessel. A lethal liquid. Check.
Now I don't think I'll show this there. Should we?
We'll show it to Ali.
Ababwa.
Ready to
Ali
sail?
Mariachi Ali Babua.
That's like the best name ever. Aliababua's magical store of bouquets, as you say.
Yep, bouquets.
They do something.
I'm searching for ingredients for a spell to bring my children back.
A spell? This is Druid magic, yes?
Yes. Do you think it will work?
The Druids are very powerful creatures. Very little is known about their nature, but I can assure you their magic does work. I've read some interesting volumes, and they speak of highly uncommon yet powerful magic.
I realize this is not going to be an easy task. Do you have any idea where I could find any of these ingredients?
The Druids have their own language of sorts, which is difficult to understand, even for an avid reader like myself. Many of these ingredients are very unusual, and some of them may be Druidic names for common things. Parts even look encrypted. It's hard to say. Lost magic bag. I just read a book on treasures from the sea, and I did come across references to such a thing.
Where can I find it?
Bring me a map of the lands, and I shall point it to you. I must warn you, though, it's where the nymphs gather, and these creatures are said to be dangerous.
Of course, how typical. We have everything up until...
I apologize for not being able to help you further, but feel free to look for information in my library. You may find some answers there.
We already
And
did!
Do not hesitate to ask if you have any more specific questions I may be able to help with.
Thank you.
We already did!
Get them out. The door exploded.
No. Find maps for... Are you?
Yeah, you gotta know why you want to buy the map. Exactly.
I'd like to buy a map, please.
Is this real gold?
Yes. Will you accept it?
Of course I will. But tell me, what region do you want a map of?
I'll take a map of the Green Isles.
Ah, a foreigner.
Exactly, Silver.
A long while since I've seen one around here. Traveling is probably not such a good idea now, with the possibility of another storm like that one last night ripping through here. It might rip their islands right out of the sea.
Thank you for your concern, but I'll take my chances.
All right, but I should probably tell you that something strange has been happening to my maps lately, though.
What's been happening?
At first, I thought it was my failing eyes. Then I remembered that my eyes hadn't started failing yet, and what I was seeing had to be real. It's too strange for a fellow like me to take, friend. Too strange.
What's strange?
One of the maps I have on display is used. It has a lot of small figures and notes scribbled on it. And those things are starting to fade, but fast. And I mean fast. One of them faded and vanished in a half hour at the very most. And not only that, but the older ones that were already faded to begin with are starting to look fresher, like they might have on the day that they were drawn.
Have you noticed this on any of your other maps?
Oh, of course I did. As soon as I noticed this, I looked, and sure enough, the same thing was happening to my other maps. The newer ones seem the most affected, too. A lot of the local maps have entire landmarks missing, even entire islands. I don't know what's going on. Could it be the end of the universe? Fortunately, some of the older maps are still quite intact. I'll give you one of the older ones that I have, since you've given me such a hefty sum here.
Thank you. I hope I can find out what's making your maps fade before they're all just sheets of parchment.
You just try to stay alive. It's not a good day to die.
Okay, anti-Worf.
And now we give it to this dude. Lamp text. Sure wants to say there. What do we need more maps? Chris. I'm good at burning things. We just need you bouncing around and shooting lasers out of your eyes. That'll be good.
Ooh, you finally figured out what to do! Oh. Well done, King Graham! Oh.
Perfect. Here you have it. But remember...
I'll be careful.
Won't that be gone in like 3 seconds? Or is that not
Maybe.
how it works?
Because it's getting faster.
A good adventurer should always carry a map when he can. This is a very good one, even if it can't transport him to the Isles themselves like the map Alexander once used in these lands.
Oh, I need the pulling kind of map. Imagine if there was a Chris the game. When he gets stuck, he gets mad and just burns everything down. Like, give me that map now. What do we do? Do we see new things on the map?
Good day, Hassan.
Good day indeed.
I do have fake arm.
We already did the fake arm. It's filled with
Ready
poison.
to sail?
Don't ask how that. We met a poisonous snake. Hey, the map looks all different. Cool. How can we fish evil ones?
Yeah.
Look at island, small island thingies.
Salty sea air.
That's now I'm trying to say.
Like a bracing slap in the face from a lover. There's no place I'd rather be than on the open sea. Good friends, good company, a good quest. What are you fishing for, Graham?
Sure was
Sea
a pain to
nymphs?
get you out here, though.
I caught a sea nymph once. Many years ago. I used a rusty barnacle as some bait. Yep. True story.
Burning. Burning.
Oh! Ah!
I'll be shipwrecked. It worked.
How that hurt.
Oh, look! A visitor has brought us a gift.
Let me see it.
Hey, wait a moment, sisters! Look at this human who has given us this treasure.
My word, isn't he the one who is the father of those two unfortunate children?
Yes, I am, my ladies. You know about Alexander and Rosella?
Why, of course. We know everything that goes on in the Isles.
And we have been intent on meeting you ever since we got word of your children's mysterious ailments.
Why?
Because we want to help you, Father of the King of the Green Isles. We are not ones to stand idly by while sorrow rules the land. We know that you have to awaken your children. The sooner, the better.
And yes, we know of the
Give us
spell
the
that you are
bait.
trying to find the ingredients for too, King Graham.
Is there anything you don't know?
Not that we know of. We may be able to help you in your quest to find the ingredients.
I'm looking for a magic bag.
Only we know where it is.
And where is that?
Why, we have it, of course.
May I have it?
Yes. Wait right where you are, King Graham. We'll be back shortly.
Burning. Give me goodies, secret goodies.
Why, I remember one time I heard a story of a sea nymph. She drank this little bit of a potion that gave her 4 mouths. And let me tell you something, nothing like a sea nymph with 4 mouths.
That's all right, that's all right. You've made your point, Hassan.
Good day to you, ladies.
Here you are. The magic bag for ancient spells.
What is she?
And just because we want to help you, we'll also give you another treasure we guard. The Cape of Invisibility, which can hide you from probing eyes.
Like horses.
Thank you very much, fair sea nymphs.
Oh, it's
Dang you,
nothing
Janttu.
to us, since you gave us this beautiful trinket to admire.
I'm sorry, but I borrowed that gem from someone who values it very deeply, and she would be very hurt if I didn't return it to her.
Oh, but it is so charming. Please, sir, let us keep this pretty thing.
I'm afraid that the owner of that pretty thing is Queen Cassima. You wouldn't want to be the cause of the Queen's misery, would you, my ladies?
Oh, we didn't realize that this lovely item.
It's true, you have my word.
Of course it is. We know everything.
Trick, yeah. You get nothing, I get everything.
What is your gift to us then?
Goodbye.
Glub.
Oh, no, I have to give them something. A funny face. A flower. Yeah, that's true.
Graham is generous, but not that generous.
Give them glub. Loads of glub.
I don't know. Where's the money?
It's the bag at the top.
Look, sisters, it shines.
Thank you.
Oh, did you see the tail on that one?
Burning. Burning. Okay. Almost done.
Now we just need the animated vessel.
I just want to get some.
Salt. Ready to sail?
Captain Hook is a little out of control. Oh yeah, we need to kill it there. I think I heard a something in the background.
A what?
Horse? No.
There are no horses.
I must be hearing them.
They're in the ocean.
Wait, that's the wrong place. Your horse. Like a little fiend.
Ready to sail?
Just wanted to have a swing.
Quick, put it on. We can't do things once we get in there.
Indeed. Hello.
They're getting close to Janttu.
Hush now, little professor.
It's not me, it's the horses. Oh, we're right up next to them.
Hey, we've never actually been here, so. Sneaky squeaky. Place it here. I think we should do what the sign says. So save. And then we should play Phantasmagoria and do it for real. Nah, there the head actually just splits from there. Okay.
Just because it says head, that doesn't mean it won't take a hand instead.
Well, I'm trying to
touching the guillotine, Graham.
I wanna.
Wait, put the laughing head there.
Put it here.
Just because.
Put the laughing head in there.
I didn't want to go down. Okay. Laughing head.
Unfortunately, that if it makes you feel, but then we'd both.
Tomorrow? Do they have daily beheadings here? Is it some kind of a sport to them? Do they hand out applications? Do they pay well? Can I join? Oh, well, never mind.
Is there something we need to cut? Like a hand? No. Should we dare to go in there? Kind of reminds me of Alice in Wonderland or something.
That's what this place is, Janttu.
What? It's a ripoff.
The Isle of
They
Wonder.
sacrificed
Yes.
themselves. Do I know you? The Silver Cloaks. They were 12 at the end, and one by one they sacrificed themselves in order to put an end to the war. It was the only way. They sealed their very souls in the Zodiah Stone to contain the power of the Black Cloaks. They paid the ultimate price, and one by one they became each one of the
I don't like his
stones that sealed
fingers.
it.
They're gross.
Who are you, and what do you know about the Silver
Imagine
Cloak
if that's
Society?
Connor.
And what's a Zodiah Stone?
The Silver Cloaks were a very noble order, led by Leo the Noble, the wisest and bravest of them all. They became one with the Zodiah Stone to imprison the man you seek. Without him, without his power, the rest of the Black Cloaks crumbled, vanished. Some say he controlled them like puppets.
So it makes
His armies
shadows.
marched to the song of his
Rogue
evil
has
chant.
a magic
He was a
coat
very
of
powerful man.
conceal face in
He
darkness.
whose name I dare not speak. The one you now face.
Is this the man who did this to Alexander and Rosella? What does he want from my children?
He is back. After 1,000 years, the seals have begun to lose their power, and now he can exit his prison. Yet not completely.
No, not the seals.
The key to his freedom lies deep within the memory of your children. But it is not only your children he is after.
Want more fish.
What do you mean? Speak clearly.
Queen Valenice, too, plays a role. Your whole family is being called by the echoes of the prophecy to play a part in the final chapter of this story.
None of this makes any sense.
Joke's on you. It's
What are you
never been
talking
finished
about?
and probably
Who are
won't
you?
be.
This is all happening because humans once defied the fates. Beware that you do not make the same mistake.
Stop speaking in riddles and tell me all that you know. Why my family? What do we have to do with all this?
You are about to learn a great deal about yourself, King Graham. You are tied to this man in ways you cannot begin to imagine. And it is destined to be that the time shall come for you to make a choice. Will you choose darkness or light?
Choose? I don't even know what we're talking about.
We'll meet again.
Hey, where did you go? Where did he go? Rats. A prophecy? The silver cloaks? The Zodiah stone? What is this nonsense?
No, but I see a lot of goodies. Give me all. That one walks. Give me.
If Graham wants to open the cupboard,
Use
he's
the
going
lock
to need
on
a
it.
key.
I think we lost the lock. We did. So what's the next key-like thing? Base.
Graham considers it, but then decides not to.
Oh no, yeah, the horses are coming.
Oh no. Go back. Look at him go. New. What else is here? Nothing?
Watching the two distinct flags ripple in the breeze, Graham wonders why, even here, in the land for chessboard pieces only, the citizens are bent on separating themselves and arguing with one another. Watching the two distinct flags, the two harlequin-like figures seem to be ready to engage in a very serious dance, or, considering what island they're on, maybe a very silly one. The cupboard to the side of the chessboard has doors made of gleaming clear glass, showing off the shelves within. One shelf holds a very curious-looking cup.
Where's the kick button? What is one kick? Dog.
There is no reply.
Why not? We need a key. Professor, how do we key?
We keep going.
No matter how many of these Graham has seen in his lifetime, he still can't agree with their use. There is no deed so awful that it deserves so horrible a punishment as this. Of course, the queens of the Isle of Wonder clearly have a very different opinion. And at least this one is pretty, in a terrifying way, but pretty nonetheless. After a lengthy journey through the... Graham still has...
So what did we get from that? I mean, a man was like, flu. Okay, what item do we need still? We need a moving, an animated vessel.
Yeah.
So clearly we need something from that glass. It's animated.
But it's loot.
Well, we need to use the fishing pole on it or something. I don't know. Just use everything on it.
Use everything until it opens.
Even Zero agrees. How about the hole? We haven't used the hole yet.
Oh yeah. Why do I keep hearing horses in it?
Because we're in Horseland. No other reason.
Poke it with your pole in a perfect go. Oh.
You're going to help me out, buddy, and then I'll set you free.
But that's not a wall.
Thank you. Be well.
Yeah, I suppose it was from here, but it was lost in the other. Don't talk to it because it sounds funny. Burning.
Pernil.
No.
I don't know.
Valnice, what could this mean?
Means. Cute dramatic music. I want to talk to the thing, it sounds funny.
It doesn't talk back.
I know it.
Maybe he's not that kind of person. He doesn't like to talk back to people.
You were warned. One use only, and you already used it.
Oh. Did they say that?
I don't think they did, but okay.
Hi.
How did you enter the lands?
I did.
That's what? How did you do it?
We had orders not to let anyone enter. Now we are in trouble. It's all your fault.
That's right. It's all my... Hey, no. That's not right.
It is.
Is not.
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 It is.
10 hours later.
It is.
Is not.
It is.
Is not.
Okay.
Ready to say it?
Good for us, there's Super Durkee Johnson.
Indeed. Spuddo Johnson. Burning. 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 Oh no, the screen cannot keep up with my running. Okay, for 0 we fish the bird.
That won't work, but keep trying.
Graham hopes no one's tried having tea in this cup. It probably ran away.
What is
just
this?
me.
I think it's left.
Walking marshmallow. Close enough. Skip someone.
No.
Warning, this cartoon may contain something. There's no horses.
You're right, I'm sorry.
Cosima!
And she'll be like, I'm the girl in the tower.
Hello.
Evil.
It's Manon.
That's impossible. It can't. This is a dream. This is all a dream.
I've been looking for you for a long time, Gwydion.
My name is Alexander.
You disappointed me. Why did you run away? You were like a son to me.
A son? I was your slave. You took me from my family and stole the life that belonged to me.
I gave you an education and you would have grown to take my place.
Your place? 6 feet underground? Yes, I know what you did to the other boys when they turned 18. You murderer. You were going to do the same to me had I not escaped.
Again, you disappoint me. I had such plans for you.
You are not real. None of this is real.
Oh, but I am quite real, my boy. As real as this place is. Look around you. This place exists because of you. I walk these lands because of your power. Such an amazing power inside your mind and your sisters. You truly are the children of prophecy, my son.
Don't you dare call me that!
Your disobedience shall be punished.
No. No!
What was that? Alexander. And Manannan. This doesn't make any sense.
Greetings, Your Majesty. You'd better get inside quickly.
Inside? Why?
Well, I'd better not say it where someone might be listening. Captain Saladin would be a better person to ask anyhow.
Manon.
It's not floppy now.
Don't worry, the captain's
Highness,
a good boy.
King Graham, you must come with me immediately.
What's wrong?
Sire, it's your wife.
Valenice? What's happening? Is she all right?
We don't know, sire.
Is she in her room?
Yes, sire. Where have you been, sire? The whole castle has been worried for your safety since the storm last evening. Did you find a cure?
Valenice? Valenice? Valenice! What are you doing? Valenice! It's alright, Valenice. It's alright. Don't lose yourself over this. It will all be fine. Don't worry, we'll all get through this. You know we will. Alexander and Rosella are going to recover from this. I found a way to help them, and I will save them. I promise.
I don't know how things can get much worse than this.
Big.
I think 2 of the 4 chapters is good for tonight.
Yeah. So next time, chapters 3 and 4.
Depending on how long they are.
Well, yeah. Burning. Burning.
I mean, this definitely feels like a fan game, but that's not entirely a bad thing.
Yeah.
Also.
Bloody horse.
But yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. And also, finally, after all these years, we've got to see what's in the Land of Wonder. Not sure how I feel about it.
You're like, that's great, disappoint. There's so much, but yet so little.
Yep.
There is a china cabinet with walking marshmallows.
Yeah.
Stuff. Who goes there? But hey, they're willing to give the project to anyone who wants to finish it, so 0. You have free time. Well, Chris can help, and Professor will be Jollo, and
yeah, I'll be Jollo.
And that's the only character in. That's the only character in the whole chapter.
0, don't you want to do the thing? Oh!
See, you're halfway there. Jollo, professors.
Wait, the old druid is Jesse Cox? What?
And Fishing Boy was voiced by a lady. What is this, the Jim Simpsons? Well, sometime many years ago, they were looking for all kinds of cast for this game.
Okay, yeah,
Where were
we gotta get 0 in here to do his Jollo voice, since apparently...
Okay. Get in here. Wait, you're not getting in here. Hold on. Yeah, go in the stream chat. We'll be there in a moment. You're not ready? That's even better. Yes.
Even
yes.
better.
Okay.
Ooh,
okay, Professor, let's move to that voice chat.
Okay.
Where is 0? Where is 0?
The secret is, it was me all along. I'm Zero.
You are.
He just realized he can't do that voice at all. What? You can't get us all excited like that and then back down.
No. You know what that is? That's a bad for promising something and then like, oh, for different note. Anyway, thank you, Professor, for joining.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
There. Okay. So, yeah, next week we're gonna continue with this and beat maybe chapters 3 and 4 and finish chapter 5 so we can see what Jolo's story is. And yeah.
Chapter 5 is just all about Jolo.
Okay.
Oh, thanks for joining the stream, everyone. Have a good day. Oh, it's me, Jolo.
Whoa. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.